ABL Live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, the proposal, zero taxes, federal income taxes at least, if you make under 150 per year. Good idea, bad idea, somewhere in between. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the Department of Education. These kids nowadays can't read, see, spot, run when they're 14 years old. What good is the Department of Education? Why do we need 2,500 employees? Why must we spend so much money? What's benefit we're getting from that? Pell Grants and student loans. How many employees are needed to make that kind of thing happen? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, is there a trade war between the U.S. and Canada? It's kind of hard to call it a war. I mean, I don't know. But there are some proposals of things that they could do to try and win the war, including banning one particular website. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Lil Yachty, the rapper, talking about Black Lives Matter, BLM, Black lesbian Marxists, big long money, buying large mansions. He called them a scam, which I thought everybody has known already, but it's gone viral, so people don't really know and are just now finding out. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And again, thank y'all for being here yet again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you are hearing thus far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Alrighty, we got a whole lot going on tonight. Shout out to the Canadians. And Justin Trudeau, he has officially stepped down as Prime Minister. So round of applause for that. Now, to my Canadian people, the guy that's replacing them, is he better, worse, somewhere in between? Like, let me know. Is it like when they ousted Andrew Cuomo from being the governor of New York and then they put in Kathy Hochul? I mean, you didn't get better. That was kind of a downgrade. I mean, although Trudeau is a bad prime minister, in my humble opinion, is the new guy worse, better? Y'all let me know. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. We got so much to get into. The Big Mike podcast. You know, the Big Mike podcast, you know what I'm talking about. Michelle Obama and her brother looking like the black Phil and Lil. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to the Rugrats. If you know, you know. They look like the black version of Phil and Lil. And if you look at a picture of Barack and her brother Craig, look at them. They look like Phil and Lil. If you don't know what I'm talking about, can I show you guys a picture? Can I show you guys a picture of Phil and Lil? Because you might have some young people in the audience who like, what's that? I never saw Rugrats. Like, what are you talking about, ABL? Let me show you a picture right quick, okay? Now, this right here, hold on. This is Phil and Lil, all right, from Rugrats. Twins, right? And the only difference really is just a little bit of their outfit and the bow right there on their hair. That's how Big Mike and her brother look, just like that. And if you think that I'm playing, hold on. Now we're going to show a picture of, I keep calling her Big Mike. Almost literally Google Big Mike, but I can't do that. I got to say Michelle Obama, because I think Google might not give me back what I want. If I search Big Mike and she pops up, I will die of laughter. But anyway, let's look them up, shall we? Let's look them up so you can see what I'm talking about. Alrighty. All right, hold on. Let's get there we go. This picture right here is probably the best way to describe it. Okay. And I think I'm going to do like a before and after. So I'll go to Phil and Lil and then immediately to Big Mike and her brother. Alrighty. So look, here we have Phil and Lil. You get that picture, you get that image. All right. So we're set. And now you got Big Mike and Craig. Tell me it's the same. Tell me it's not the same. And if you tell me it's not the same, I think you're not telling me the truth. Put a wig and makeup on Craig, you get the same person. Shout out to genetics. That's a crazy thing. the genetics are crazy. Genetics, that's something else, though. Like, really. You can't even really make it up if you try it. But yeah, their podcast, you might as well call it the Feeling Little Podcast. It doesn't really do well right now, but I think it might be kind of unfair expectations. They're a brand new thing. They're not just going to be able to pick up steam like that. I think one thing that the mainstream people don't understand, you can't just start a podcast and have success. It doesn't matter if you're a big name, a small name, or whatever. You still got to have talent. You still got to have people that are invested into you. It's like, okay, why am I going to watch you sit and talk on a microphone? Are you interesting? Do you have good insight? Do you have good stories? Are you a good storyteller? Why am I going to sit and watch the Big Mike podcast? I don't know, but we'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. I got a clip from the podcast, some riveting content. And once you see this riveting content, you might be a tad bit confused. Like, hey, after this riveting story, I don't understand why you guys are not getting the views that you should be getting. All right. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. We got a whole lot going on tonight. There's a whole lot of videos, a whole lot of new things that I want to talk about. And again, shout out to y'all in the comments. I appreciate you guys for being here. I'm reading some of the comments right here. All right. Now, my question throughout all of this with Big Mike and the brother, where's Barack at? Where he at? I think Barack has gone back to his single male lifestyle in Washington, D.C. He's pretty much gone back to that. He's pretty much just chilling, doing this thing. Okay. When Michelle did not come to the inauguration, I believe, Barack just went out on the town, going to restaurants by himself, chilling. He living a single life. You know, would it be funny if he pop up with that white lady? Look, if Barack Obama pops up with, what was that, Jennifer Aniston? Oh man, that would just, that'd be a dagger, boom, right in the heart. But we'll see. I don't think he'll be out on the open with her, but that's the rumor. We'll see how that whole thing goes in the future. Hey, Carrie, that's hilarious. Putting the hands up. Hey, because Michelle's like 5'10". I feel like her and the brother are like, they might be twins. They might have come out at the same time. All right, one after the other. That's how they look like the exact same. They look more twins than twins, if that makes any sense. All right, but we're going to get to that a little bit more a little bit later. Again, shout out to you guys for joining. Shout out to everybody who is watching. You guys are the first sponsors. And shout out to the sponsors on paper. PatriotPost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the box. Or just go to their page through your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you, PatriotPost.us. Also, go to my merch website, ABLmerch.com. We got the hats like I Survived the Plandemic, Scamdemic, whatever you want to call it. I got these hats. I got t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ABLmerch.com. If you go to the front page, we got some new green variants, and we got some brand new actual things coming up here pretty soon. We got the USA and the Novaks. We have this I Survived the Plandemic also in green, but we got a lot more coming. So you guys just hang tight for that. Alrighty. But again, ABLmerch.com. We get everything on there. Link as always will be in the box. Also go to my regular website, AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website and read each article for the videos that I produce. In each article, I'll have sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the politically agnostic, Democratic, Republican, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it. As long as it's legal, it'll be right there on the website, AnthonyBLogan.com. Again, that is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Also, go to the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact-us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my snail mail address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All those links are right there on the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com. And as I always say, please don't get scammed. I'm not trying to get another email from one of y'all talking about, I thought I could trust you, ABL. And now we're talking to some feller, and he said that he was you, and he took all my money. I was like, all right, sir, what happened? Well, I went to the Target and gave him all the gift cards. Sir, don't do that. It's 2025. Don't give up no gift cards. Don't give up no PIN number, no social, no nothing. Okay? You know what? Sometimes they try and get me on the phone. It be regular people. I got a call the other day from my insurance agent talking about somebody needs some documents and can you DocuSign something? I'm like, whoa. First of all, bro, I mean, what's happening? I did a little bit of research on the email. I'm like, okay, is this email in my inbox already? Did I already know this guy? Okay, that checks out. Now I'm going to call you. It's like, bro, can I get your corporate number? Like, what's going on? I got to make sure that you are somebody, that you're not just a scammer trying to get my information, trying to get me signing a document. And then the next thing I know, I'm getting knocked on my door in the morning. Mr. Logan, you want to come outside? What happened? Yeah, you signed your house over to a guy in Lagos, Nigeria. We talked to him on the phone. We know what he said. Go to their house today and get him outside because the house is mine now. He cannot have their house. We're going to keep it, because we got the paper right here. The DocuSign is in the email. It's right here. Get them out to their house today. So I'm not trying to have that happen to you guys, because I ain't going to have it happen to me either. Please be aware. Don't get scammed by nobody from Nigeria, nobody from Eastern Europe, nobody from South America, India. Oh, they be on there too. I can't do my Indian accent very well, okay, because it's a whole lot of tongue twisting with that. So that's not really going to be conducive to me trying to do it. But y'all know who I'm talking about, okay? The bros on the phone with the Nextel chart, with the flip phones, the old school rotary stuff, scamming you out of all your hard-earned money. Nobody has time for that. I mean, imagine how you feel if you get scammed by somebody that has a computer from 35 years ago. Like, that's not very nice. All right. So you guys, please be aware of these scams. I don't want to get another email from y'all talking about, I thought I could trust you, ABL. You took all my money. Let's not. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for being here. You guys are the best. Now, speaking about Big Mike, Barack Obama, the whole group, this is a clip from Bear Grylls. I'm not really sure. I think it's Bear Grylls. If I'm wrong, y'all let me know. I'm not sure when this came out. It could be old as time itself. But this is an interesting video because Barack kind of slipped up and said something here. And I'm just kind of confused. You guys ready?
You know what my kids asked me? They said, you've got to ask the president, does anything scare him?
You know, well, when Michelle's mad, I get worried.
Come again?
When Michelle's mad.
That ain't no woman. It's a man.
When Michelle's mad.
Yeah, baby.
When my who gets mad? When my what? my like, what's going on? Johnny Gill, my what's happening here, sir? You're what? If I didn't know any better, I thought I heard you said when Mike, you almost said Big Mike. It's like, bro, what have you been watching? You watching InfoWars and watching ABL? Like, what's really going on? He almost said it. I'm like, all right, you know what? ABL, be more sensitive. Don't call her Big Mike. Tell him that. Hey, look, if he can speak about her without saying Big Mike, then I'll stop saying it. How about that? I feel like that's fair. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about that. You guys let me know. All right. But yeah, shout out to them. Now, here is a clip from the podcast, okay? Because people are saying, hey, you know what? Let's see the actual podcast. Let's see what they've done. Let's see how good or not so good this content is, all right?
In my opinion.
What?
a hot dog is not a sandwich.
Huh.
And people have been trying to
What is it
convince
called?
me
It's just a
that
hot dog.
it is a hot dog.
It's its own category.
It's its own category. In my
Okay, so we're having the glizzy conversation. Ain't that what the cool kids say? The glizzy conversation. So this is an example of the riveting content you're going to get on their podcast. Glizzies, is it a sandwich or not? All right. So, hey, you know what? I have a wild suggestion to them. I have a wild suggestion. Maybe, just maybe, it'll make more sense if you had better content. Maybe, just maybe, if you had better content, you would get better results as far as the viewers and whatnot. I'm just saying. All right. Gavin Newsom is probably getting better numbers than them. This is why, and I've been telling y'all about Gavin. Gavin is their best bet. Big Mike is the best out of the others, although she doesn't want to run and she's still bad. You see what I'm saying? That's the scale that we're dealing with. She's the best out of everyone else other than Gavin, who could run in 2028, but she doesn't want to do it. She wants to be Meghan Markle and go do podcasts and things of this nature that don't nobody care about. Okay, I'm not trying to make Meghan Markle. I don't want to see Meghan Markle in the kitchen making charcuterie boards. Do you guys want to see Meghan Markle in her kitchen making charcuterie boards? Is that what you want? And it ain't going to be good at all if you ate it. So I think I'm good. I don't want to see any of them on TV. And I don't want to see Gavin, but I just recognize he's the best shot that they have. So we'll see what happens in 2028. If he doesn't run in 2028, then I know they're not really serious. If they don't run Gavin in 2028, they're not serious. Alrighty.
Anybody?
Now, speaking about voting, this right here is a small crowd in New York City, and a comedian named Sherrod Small is asking who they voted for. Again, New York City. All right. Let's watch.
Anybody here voted for Kamala?
Wow. These are all, you're all Trump voters? No.
Neither.
No. Neither.
Raise.
No hands went up. No hands went up. No enthusiasm. No nothing.
Raise your hand if you're honest enough to say you voted for Trump. Look at that, man. We're in New York
I'm
City.
joking though, but yeah.
He has
Nah, Sherrod. You ain't joking. You're not joking. You did that. And it's okay, man. It's okay to be a black man or a Puerto Rican man, Kenny Strike man, the white man. It's okay to be whatever and vote for whoever you want to vote for. Now, if you vote for a Gavin Newsom in 2028, I'm going to say that you're silly and you're dumb for doing it, but I'm not going to say you can't do it.
He literally has a MAGA scarf on, so I'm not, like, it's a MAGA scarf. Like, it's a homemade too, right? Like someone in your family made that. Oh, wow, good for you.
El Salvador.
El Salvador.
I like that you're buying
outsourced MAGA scarf. Nice.
It's very good craftsmanship in El Salvador.
NASA. Make Salvador great.
That's
Trump's going to send you back to El Salvador to see how it's made.
NASA, is that what we're going to say? All right, liberals. Liberals love their racism. They love it. I promise they do. We're going to get more into that a little bit later. Passive-aggressive racism. Oh, I didn't mean massa like the slave plantation master. I meant something else. Yeah. But they always do that. Throw the stone, hide their hand. That's the typical liberal for you all day long. But have you guys seen that wherever you live? Like, have you guys seen a big shift toward conservatives, a big shift toward Trump, even in a liberal area? Stephen A. Smith said it, like, what was it, 89% or so of counties shifted right? They may not have gone right completely, but they shifted right. Like I was saying before, if a county was 70-30 Democrat Republican, and then it goes 55-45 Democrat Republican, the Democrats still won, but there was a shift and it was noticeable throughout all of America. So it's not just a one-off or a fluke. In my humble opinion, we won 3 times, but in 2020, they did some funny stuff. Now, what the funny stuff is, there's room for debate. But I don't think anyone would sit here honestly and say that there was zero funny stuff happening. If you say that, you're just not really being honest, in my humble opinion. But I digress. Okay. Let's see. We got some liberals, and you know what? You're going to see a common thread in these videos. You're going to see a common thread. It's mostly your white liberals who are going to be protesting against Trump, Elon, Republicans. But these white liberals will say that it's black folks who are upset and hurt. If we're so upset and hurt, then why isn't it us out there protesting? Why isn't it us out there defacing Tesla trucks and stuff like this? Okay, so don't put it on us. Put it on y'all, whoever is doing the protesting. You are protesting for whatever you believe in, not someone else.
Kill that light!
So we got some applause. We got some people that are trying to support our Vice President, J.D. Vance. I think I heard a guy said, kill that vice. Things like this. You know, a bunch of these, threats talking about, oh, we're going to do something to you and somebody got to beat that guy, throw your life away, crash out, hurt the president. That's becoming trendy online. And you got grown adults who are buying into the trend. Now, what could happen is y'all keep playing around and your lights might get, your TV might get turned off. Your lights might get turned off. You keep playing around. Okay. Or you might get sent to the penitentiary to make big rocks to little. Now, did you guys see what happened to Trump? What the reporter did? So look, hold on. Did you guys see what the reporter did? Now, some are going to say, look, ABL, it was a mistake. It wasn't a big deal. You're overreacting, but I don't think I am. I think this is done on purpose because, and I could be wrong. This is just my humble opinion. And the reason why I say it was done on purpose is because when there's this environment where it's okay to talk crazy about the president, when it's okay to joke about deleting the president, when that kind of environment exists, somebody might let their inner thoughts take over and nudge them, just trying to test them. You know what? Can I say something right quick? A lot of these journalists, they're like children, testing their boundaries, seeing how far they can go. But when they get locked up or deleted, then they want to start crying. It's like, nah. We're adults now. Okay, we're not 2 years old testing our parents. We are full-grown adults. So if you want to go out there trying to touch the president, threatening the president, and you get deleted or you get sent to Gitmo to make big rocks, little rocks, don't start crying then. You know fully well what the consequences of your actions are going to be. You know fully well that if you do something like that, it might not go too well for you. Let's watch.
Mr. President, obviously you're concerned. You're concerned about the situation.
Now look, did you guys see that? Let's look. So you're going to see the boom mic right here in the bottom left-hand corner. You're going to see the boom mic, and it's a person holding the mic. Now, the idea is that it was an accident. I'm not quite sure I'm believing that it was an accident. Let's watch one more time. Then he's going to actually respond to what happened here.
President, obviously you're concerned.
And you see the face. Hold on. You see the face. That right there is like, really? You're going to do that for real? See, these kind of reactions and these kind of moments are why we love Trump. He's a regular person, These Democrats are like lizards and they don't understand why they're not relatable. What do? Start podcasts and talk about glizzies. That's not how you do it. You connect by genuinely being a true person, a real person.
You're concerned about the situation in Gaza. What are the hopes now to get the hostages back?
She just became a big story tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you see that?
It was at this moment that she knew.
Oh, that's her right there. So Here's my question. I don't know her name. I don't know who this woman is. But do y'all think that this is on purpose? Maybe it's windy. No, strength of upper body. Her arms are getting tired. If her arms are getting tired, why did the mic go up? Did the wind blow it up like that? Like, what happened? Okay, what's really going on? You trying to get better sound? What's really going on? Was that on purpose or was it a mistake? Y'all let me know. All right. But yeah, what you don't want to do is do something like that on purpose, because it could end very bad for you. Now, what's going on with your guy? What's going on with you guys' guy in Canada? Like I said, Trudeau has resigned. Shout out to him. Goodbye, sir. Hey, goodbye, Trudeau. And I was asking you guys, is a new person that they have in the interim and before the election, is he worse? Is he better? Now, here is Trudeau being captured by his personal photographer. Same thing that Gavin Newsom does. And you know what? Hold on. California and Canada are similar in a lot of different ways. First of all, they're similar in population, actually. I think Canada has what, like 40 million people? Let me see. Canada has 40 million people. California, 39.2. So very similar in population and similar as far as the people that live there. You got the Ontario people, not all, but some. They're kind of like Los Angeles, right? And you have the, Vancouver, BC. That's kind of like California as well. That's like left coast. That's like a continuation of the left coast. People on drugs and stuff like this on the street, doodle on the ground, shooting up meth, heroin, crack, whatever they want to do. Completely no culture that's cohesive in some parts of the left coast. But also you have good, hardworking American people, conservative people in that environment just trying to survive and make it and live their everyday life. So you have both of those worlds coming together. And just like California, Canada has a soft, kind of emasculated leader with his own personal photographer who had to catch moments like this. Now, I'll tell you what. You would never, ever, ever, ever catch me crying on TV or nothing like that. If I'm crying and the photographer catches it, I'll be like, look, photographer, bro, here's what we're going to do, okay? This is what we're going to do. You're going to actually delete that photo. And when someone asks you, hey, was ABL in there crying? You're going to say no. And if you say yes, you're going to get immediately sent to the penitentiary. Big rocks, little rocks. The last part, I was playing about that, but I'm being serious. Don't show me in the weak light, because that shows the entire nation in the weak light. If you think you could just touch Trump and do stuff to him, that makes him look weak in this country and in the eyes of the world. So that's going to be a domino effect that would affect us negatively. Even if you hate Trump, you shouldn't want the leader of your country to appear to be weak, because your country can be hurt as a result of his weakness. Does it make any sense? So yeah, that person, hopefully they didn't do what I think they could have done. Now, Mahmoud Khalil, the detained journalist, ABL, set him free. It's freedom of speech. Now listen, freedom of speech, what does that mean? Anybody want to tell me? Last I checked, freedom of speech is the government cannot lock you up for unpopular opinion. Freedom of speech, as far as I know, does not protect you from being deported if you are a subversive person. Check it out. If you have to apply to come over here to get a green card, a visa, H-1B visa, whatever it is, if you have to apply to come over here, and I don't know the process, I don't know the questionnaire that they get, but I would presume it's something on there like, okay, are you a domestic terror threat? Are you going to come to this country and involve yourself with domestic terrorism? Are you going to be committing crime? Are you going to be obstructing justice? If you say yes to those things, you're going to be denied. Let's say you're coming from Middle East somewhere, right? And they say, are you part of a domestic terror group or some kind of guerrilla militia? And you say, yes. Yeah, I'm an Al-Qaeda. I'm an ISIS. I'm in all of that. Okay, a lot of Wakbar, all of that, Takbir. If you say that, you're not going to get accepted. So why should you remain in the country if you do that after you get in? You got into the country under false pretenses. Go ahead and go back over there and do all that over there. We don't got time for that, okay? Now, this is what he was a part of over at Columbia, speaking about Mahmoud Khalil. Now, I'm seeing a physical barricade with chairs and a table. Is that a peaceful protest? Is that freedom of speech? I'm just having a hard time understanding. Is a flipped over table blocking a door freedom of speech, or is that vandalism? Is that something else? Y'all let me know. And RIP to the headphone users. Yeah, Mahmoud Khalil is the Columbia campus protester who is now being deported because he was here on the green card. And the controversy is, well, all he did was just say some things. It's violation of freedom of speech. Is this freedom of speech? Y'all let me know. Freedom of speech, that's what that is right there. I mean, if someone can like explain it to me how barricading the door with tables and chairs is freedom of speech, if you could explain that to me like I'm 5 years old, then I got to accept it. But if you can't, then it is what it is. Why would we allow someone to be here if they're involved in things like that? Yeah, you could go ahead and go. Bye, goodbye. ABL, he has a wife and the baby. Should have thought about that before he started to go out there and do stuff like this, okay? Because if I go and I throw chairs and stuff in somebody's window, I'm barricading. Like, let's say I go to a nightclub, right? And I decide to protest against alcoholic beverage consumption. And I go up to the front of the door with a table and chairs and block them from getting out. Obviously, I'm about to get locked up. I'm going to the penitentiary to make big rocks to little. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. All right. So yeah, lock them up, send them back. Now, this right here from Border Patrol, you know what? This is perfect timing. I love the Border Patrol. Shout out to them. This is perfect. They put this on their like official page. This is showing some of the progress from the actual southern border. How we're getting that tightened up, secure, and back to the way it's supposed to be. Closed for business. No longer just open willy-nilly to the entire world. Check it out.
I don't see how you can hate from outside of the club. You can't even get in.
Let's go! Cause I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away. Better know that I don't and I won't ever stop. Cause you know I gotta win every day.
All right, so shout out to the Border Patrol. They put that up on their official page. Look, we got the big watchtowers, we got the trenches, we got the gates, the walls, all of that. Hey, and since we got the orange man back, I want to petition him to make that wall 15 foot higher, 20 foot higher, electrified. I want to have bloodhounds. I want to train coyotes to be out there patrolling the border. That's what I want to do. You know, have some of these dog aficionados, animal trainers, get some coyotes, wolves, all of that. Have them patrolling the border, drones, watchtowers, whatever you can. 100%. And people are talking about, oh, that's racist. Racist? All races from the entire world come to the border illegally. White, black, Puerto Rican, candy stripe, everybody. White Canadians, Europeans, Russians, Chinese. The Chinese are the biggest group. Y'all know that. You know how that is. That's behind Central Americans, specifically the Chinese. They're coming over here in droves. They got step-by-step instructions on TikTok on how to do it. They got hotels in Panama, probably close to where Darien is. They got hotels down there just for the Chinese. They're coming over here looking very clean, very nice. They got money. They're not fleeing persecution. They're not fleeing poverty. They are coming over here to get that money. That's all. So yeah, shout out to them, man. Hey, I understand You want to be over here? I get it, but it's time to go back. All right. And here's my main man, the triple OG, my friend in my head, at least, Tom Homan. Shout out to Tom Homan. Hold on. Round of applause. Tom Homan. Shout out Tom Homan. All righty. Let's go ahead and see what he says about the Pope criticizing the border policy.
The Pope this morning had some very harsh words for the...
I got harsh words for the Pope. Pope want to fix the Catholic Church. I'm saying this as a lifelong Catholic. I was baptized Catholic. I was First Communion as a Catholic. Confirmation as a Catholic. He ought to fix the Catholic Church and concentrate on his work and leave border enforcement to us. He wants to attack us from securing our border. He's got a wall around the Vatican, does he not? So he's got a wall around to protect his people and himself, but we can't have a wall around the United States. So I wish he'd stick to the Catholic Church and fix that and leave border enforcement to us.
There it is. Perfect. Perfect. And what he said is not wrong. It's like, look, y'all got a wall around the Vatican. Y'all got that wall, so why can't we have our wall? You guys can protect yourselves over there within Italy. Y'all got your own country, which is basically like a square. Y'all have your own country called the Vatican. You could protect that with walls and guards and guns and all of that, but we can't protect ours, please. Like, spare me the nonsense. Spare me the nonsense, okay? Spare me the nonsense. What if a bunch of migrants from Africa or something like that pulled up to the Vatican talking about, yo, give us asylum. You're not getting anything. You're going to get a swift kick in your hind parts up out of the Vatican instantly. So I don't want to hear a double standard. Now, you know, anti-Semitism is kind of, it was gone for a while, but now it's back. Okay, it's back. Well, I won't say it never really left. The actual anti-Semitism is on the left. It's on the left. These are the ones drawing swastikas and burning crosses. It's them. We saw the hate hoax out there. What was that? Colorado Springs with the Nigerian. They literally, and shout out to the Nigerians. I love y'all. Jollof rice, all of that. Shout out to you guys. But in Colorado Springs, they literally had a Nigerian scammer become mayor. Yemi Mombolade. This dude had people going out here committing hate crimes, allegedly on his behalf, to help him win the race. They went to jail and all of that. It's always them burning crosses, drawing swastikas while trying to blame us. Juicy Smollett, another one, talking about, oh, these guys are white supremacists and Nazis. It's MAGA country. Meanwhile, you had more Nigerians. It's like, I don't like Nigerians being typecast as scammers, but good grief. But anyway, I think the white liberal in this country has the Nigerian by leaps and bounds when it comes to hate hoaxes. Okay, let's see what happens here with this faithful, nice person. Okay, no sound in the video, but you can see what's going on. Pronouns, he, him. Yes, it is a man. And what he's doing right here is keying a swastika into a Tesla truck. What this big doofus doesn't understand is that the Teslas have cameras on them that activate when you run up on it. Okay, it's like a ring light. And they have multiple cameras, so they're able to see from different angles. They can see you from the front, from the side, from the back. It can record you and do all of that. So it's really easy. Whenever they go find you in your homeless camp, shooting up meth or whatever you're doing, smoking your crack and your fentanyl, if you don't OD and die, they could just go get you and be like, look, sir, he, him, she, her, this right here is you. Hey, that's you right there on the Tesla camera keying it up, hands behind your back. But of course, if it's California, he won't go to jail at all. He'll go right back to his homeless hovel and get high till he dies. But yeah, that's what they do all the time. They keep scrawling stuff into Teslas because they don't like Elon Musk. While at the same time talking about it's the right that's the racist. Who's drawing the swastikas? Who's doing the cross burning? Is it us or is it them? Keep it all the way real. Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, but check this out. Check this out. So we have Mark Kelly, Democratic Senator Mark Kelly, selling his Tesla, just like all of them. They all do this. They always sell their Tesla. They always are very performative with what they got going on. All right. We saw celebrities do this. I feel like this is a thing they're being told to do by some kind of planner, by a consultant. Maybe that'll help them with their constituents to keep getting elected. Maybe those who voted for them like this kind of stuff, I guess. But if you're trying to reach across the aisle and gain new people, you don't go about it like this, in my humble opinion. So let's check it out.
Folks, Mark Kelly here in Washington, driving to work for the last time in my Tesla. When I bought this thing, I didn't think it was going to become a political issue. Every time I get in this car in the last 60 days or so, it reminds me of just how much damage Elon Musk and Donald Trump is doing to our country. Talking about slashing Social Security, cutting healthcare benefits for poor people, for seniors. It's one bad thing after the next. He's firing veterans. I'm a veteran, so I have a really hard time driving around in this thing. So I think it's time for an upgrade today. So this is going to be my last trip in this car. There are some things I really liked about it. There are things I didn't like about it, but that doesn't matter. What matters is, doing the right thing. I think it's time to get rid of it. Elon Musk kind of turned out to be an asshole, and I don't want to be driving the car built and designed by an asshole. So, looking forward to my new ride.
Oh man, that was funny at the end. That was funny. But
I didn't.
Mark Kelly, for real, is that okay? Listen, do you hear yourself though? Aren't you a U.S. senator? Hold on, is he a U.S. senator? Yes, a U.S. senator, Mark Kelly. Bro, don't you realize that the top selling electric vehicle in this country, maybe even the world, is a Tesla? This is an American company hiring American people to make these vehicles, whether you love them or hate them. Listen, I'm not a Tesla fan. I love my gas guzzlers. Give me a V8. A V6, I mean, I don't want it. Okay. V8, we got a date. V6, it ain't gonna do no tricks. V4 hit the door. You understand what I'm saying? A V3, it ain't me. I need a V8 gas guzzler. Vroom, vroom. No electric. That's just my preference, though. That's my preference. You guys may love electric vehicles. If you like it, I love it. For you. For you. I don't want to hate on whatever you got going on. You might have a Subaru hatchback in your garage. Hey, you like it, I love it. I like the Mustang and the F-150. My favorite cars ever. But I can still understand and respect how Tesla is a very big and profitable company that is an American company. I mean, American manufacturing as far as vehicles has been suffering. We had to bail them out in 08. Remember that? The American vehicle that's still probably doing very well is Ford. So I'm buying American still. You had an American vehicle. Now what you going to do now? Get a Chinese electric vehicle imported into the USA? You defeating the purpose, bro. We're trying to get American companies to stay at the forefront as they are, support American companies, but you want to attack an American company because of your beef with the guy at the top. Forget the thousands of employees. Forget the benefit to our GDP. Don't worry about that. I got a problem with one guy. Therefore, I'll say an entire company sucks. It's weird, but Democrats do stuff like that. They don't think. They don't use their brain. Or maybe they do, but they use their brain for evil purposes. Maybe that's what's going on. Volkswagen, Germany. Shout out to Germany. We have cars made here that are still owned by foreign companies. Toyota, Volkswagen. We got a VW plant right here. Volkswagen is German, right? Y'all let me know. You got Toyota. What are some of the top cars? Toyota, Tesla, Ford F-150 still. What else? A lot of y'all are driving Hondas and Kias and stuff like this. Nothing wrong with it, but I'm saying we're talking about Korean and Japanese and German. Where's the American cars? I'm just saying. Volkswagen, they got a plant right here in Chattanooga. So when I'm in the grocery store, I'm hearing, I can make the nigga, all that German stuff because they bring them from over there here. I don't know what they're doing, like supervising or what, but it's a lot of Germans here. Ain't speaking no English. All in the grocery store. All in Trader Joe's trying to get some chicken and beef or whatever. Straight up, Mazel Tov, all of that type of stuff. But anyway. So here is CNN furthering the hate against an American company, a great American company in Tesla.
Public backlash against Elon Musk. The Trump administration is now saying that, like, if you are attacking Teslas or dealerships, going beyond vandalism, that could be an act of domestic terrorism. But I do want to ask about this as resistance. Is this what resistance should look like?
So Trump thinks that if you try to kill cops to overthrow the government and change an election, that's not domestic terrorism, but somehow having a protest in front of a Tesla dealership.
Question.
Bro, really? And somebody said it. What happened to trying to fix the environment? What happened to trying to be environmentally friendly? Tesla, they have electric cars. There's no gas-powered Tesla vehicle, as far as I know. They all are electric. I thought that was the way of the future. I thought if you had an ICE vehicle, internal combustion engine, that you were damaging the planet. You want to kill grandma because you got your carbon in the atmosphere. But because you don't like Elon, all of a sudden that kind of goes away. What will Mark Kelly get to replace his Tesla? What, a Hummer EV? This 10,000 pound beast, 10,000 pound hog on the road? What are you going to really get, Mark Kelly? But anyway, so yeah, a protest outside of a Tesla, that's not what we're talking about, bro. We're talking about firebombing Teslas. We're talking about shooting up Tesla dealerships. We're talking about scrawling swastikas on a Tesla. We're talking about that. Yeah, but shout out to the Germans, though. No offense. But you guys got that, got that phlegm right there. Get that cleared out and you'll be good to go. But anyway, shout out to you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Now, here's a collection of older videos with people in government that you're going to recognize. This is them talking about how good Doge is, okay? Sorry for the cutoff. I'm trying to get this new format situated. I'll get it right pretty soon. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's do it this way. There we go. That's better. Okay, that's a little bit better. So yeah, this is Nancy Pelosi, Chucky Schumer, and Bernie Sanders. Again, these are not new videos, but this just goes to show that they're not really serious when they're talking about being against Doge, because they were for it before they were against it.
We cannot keep our promises on Medicare. We simply must make the cuts in waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicare so that the benefits and the premiums are untouched. We owe it to our seniors. We owe it to our country.
Nancy Pelosi talking about waste, fraud, and abuse. But when Elon Musk says we're trying to get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse, it's a problem. When Trump says we're trying to get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse, it's a problem. So if it's a problem when Trump and Elon say it, why isn't it a problem when Nancy Pelosi says it? Now, Bernie Sanders.
There is an enormous amount of waste and fraud and abuse in this government. When there is waste and fraud, you have an administration who should also be on top of that situation.
If we're going to eliminate the waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicare, it does mean we're going to cut some of that out. And when I hear my friend Dave Camp say you cannot cut money out of Medicare, you can't just get up there and say we don't want to cut anything out of Medicare. We want to cut the bad stuff and keep the good stuff.
So I'm just having a hard time figuring out what's going on. I'm having a hard time really getting it. I don't really understand. It's like, so was it okay to say it back then and it's not okay to say it right now? I'm just really confused. It's so weird. I just want to, if we're going to be outraged at things and be protesting about certain things, let's let it be consistent throughout the years. It's so strange. So yeah, shout out to them for keeping it real back then and lying now. All right, now these are U.S. aid workers being, I I guess you would say they're being fired. Well, pardon me, they're leaving the building. They're leaving the building and they're getting a clap out as they go. All right, hold on. Sorry about that. Let's keep on going. So there we go. U.S. aid were given 15 minutes to clear out their desks, and they had to go. All right, they had to go. Hey, like I say, I'm not trying to celebrate anybody losing their job because I don't know any of these people. What I am celebrating is this monstrosity called the federal government finally getting slimmed down at least a little bit. It has gotten so big, so out of control, so wasteful. It's time to stop it. Okay. Now, I know they were doing some very important work. They had to figure out just how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. That was a whole big study that they had for about 15 years. It cost $2.8 billion. I get it. You almost found out how many licks it takes. You almost got to the answer. You got that close to the answer, but it didn't happen. Now you're out of work. I understand how that could be very heartbreaking. Okay, I get it. But maybe, just maybe, we don't need to spend money on that study. I'm just saying. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that I'm right. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Oh, here we go. We have this guy. This is a guy who got offended. You guys are funny talking about it takes three. Y'all are hilarious. Shout out to y'all. Hey, you guys, I don't care what nobody says. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Please believe it. Now, remember the guy who got offended? Well, he wasn't even offended. This dude wasn't offended. This is the guy, Sarah McBride, formerly known as Tim. This was the guy who was referred to by his actual gender because he's a man. I know we got I don't know what kind of hairstyle that is. That's like a Janis Joplin, Forrest Gump, Jenny type of hairstyle. I don't know what that is. The blazer, I get it. You are identifying as female. I understand. But you're a man. And he was called sir by someone in Congress. And one of his colleagues got upset. He wasn't even offended. He kind of like joked back. All right, Madam Speaker, or whatever he said. He wasn't even offended. But somebody got offended for him. Now, here he is talking about that whole thing and the culture war that's being fought relentlessly right now.
We will not take a lecture on decorum from a party that incited an insurrection. I appear to live rent-free in the minds of some of my Republican colleagues. I wish that they would spend even a fraction of the time that they spend thinking about me, thinking about how to lower the costs for American families. I wish they would spend a fraction of the time that they spend thinking about me, figuring out how to make government actually work better, rather than making it work worse in order to prove that government can't work. They are obsessed with culture war issues. The Republican Party is obsessed with culture war issues. It is weird and it is bizarre. And the American people deserve serious legislators, serious elected officials who are focused on bringing people together to deliver real results for the American people, not to play games and not to engage in schoolyard taunts.
All right, there we go. So that is, again, Sarah McBride, a.k.a. Tim McBride. And just to be on the same page, just so we're on the same page, this is a man, biological, XY, out the womb. Okay, it's a boy. Slap on the hind parts, you get a blue blankie, you're a boy. This is a man, XY, he, him, who identifies now as a female, he's saying that it's weird for Republicans to be obsessed with culture war issues. Bro, you are a man pretending to be a woman in Congress, and you're the first one of your type. You're the very first one. So it's going to be something. You can't just say, all right, I'm a woman and it's okay. No. You can't just say that. You are the weird one. You are the oddity. You're not the same as everybody else, bro. So don't do that. And the issue is that the left are obsessed with these weird things and trying to push that on us as normal. You're trying to push it on kids. You're trying to push it on people that are not necessarily very intelligent. You're trying to push it on the entire American population, therefore damaging society. What you guys are doing on the left is worse than the fentanyl crisis. It's worse than that, because 100,000 people died of an overdose from opiates, mostly fentanyl. What was that, 2022, 2023, whenever that was? But how many more people were impacted or infected with this liberalism, with all this woke stuff? How many more Americans were infected with that kind of stuff versus the drugs? So yeah, we got a problem with it because we realize that it's doing quite a bit of damage. These young people, they don't know what's going on, okay? They don't know what's happening with themselves. They don't know who they are. It's a crazy mess, okay? Now, look, speaking about crazy mess, I got the perfect couple videos. The first is this one about the one individual, at least, who got caught scrawling a swastika into a Cybertruck. Then we're going to get to a young lady who is just not all the way there with herself mentally.
What you doing?
So look, this dude wrote Elon something in there and another swastika. This is different than the other one we saw earlier where the dude, he, him, she, her, scrawled something in there. This is much different. Another one. And the crazy part is that the owner of the Cybertruck is Jewish. So is that what we're doing? We're going around scrawling swastikas on Jewish people's possessions in New York City. Where are we at right now? Is it 1945, 1943, Germany? Or are we in the USA? I don't understand. I don't get it. And then, hey, they'll be the same ones that say, you guys are racist. Us? You drew a swastika on the Jewish dude's Tesla. ABL, he didn't know he was Jewish. You know the best way to avoid drawing a swastika on a Jewish guy's car is to not draw swastikas on anybody's car. That's a novel idea, ain't it? Because if you do it, that's not very nice. And you might just be committing a hate crime. But hey, don't listen to me. I don't know nothing. Don't hear me out. I don't know nothing. I don't know a thing. All right. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's go back to what I was saying about the mental illness that's being caused in this country by the likes of Sarah McBride and others who are pushing this narrative. And I'm not just going to blame one guy in Congress. This is a thing that's happening. Mainstream media, social media, movies, music. I've not seen a movie in years. The last one I saw, I think I saw Black Panther, the first one. I saw the second one too, but I barely remember that one. But I rarely watch movies. If it kind of is interesting to me socially, if I want to be aware of some social references, maybe I'll watch it. But the things they're coming out with, what's that movie with the black British lady who played Harriet Tubman, which is funny. How you gonna have a black Brit play Harriet Tubman? What part of the game is that? But anyway, that lady and Ariana Grande. First of all, can someone invest in a hamburger meal for both of them? I like slim, athletic, but that looks like we're going back to when was the anorexic era in? Was that like early 90s? We're kind of going back to that, where you would see some of these models looking like they didn't hit all the cocaine in Los Angeles on the runway, a whole skeleton on there. Okay, they did not look good at all. They look like that. I don't want to see that movie. I don't want to see anything like that. So I'm good on the entire entertainment industry, at least on the mainstream level. All right. Now, let's watch this. And this is an example of what I'm talking about as far as the poison that's being delivered to our young people, making them behave this way. Check it out.
We're trans men and we're gay. We like guys.
Do you have gender dysphoria?
Yes, heavily.
But you're still femme presenting?
Yeah, I still femme present. I find it comfortable, but at the same time, it does get hard when I can't look masked.
So do you identify as gay or queer?
As queer.
As queer. That's fair, because you're trans guys, right? That's fair. What about you?
Queer as well.
Queer. What about you?
I am not a trans gay man. I identify as a pansexual.
Yay! We're trans men and
I mean, you know what else I see? These are like grown toddlers. It's like your growth has been stunted at a certain point and you've not really been able to get beyond that point. Look at her makeup. It's like if you're 5 years old, it makes sense to look like that. To have all kind of green, blue, everything on your face and in your hair. Yeah, you want to do that because you're a child and you just want to do stuff like that. Like when I was a kid, you wanted to go play in crayons and all kind of stuff, draw on the walls because you're a child, but these are adults. You see what I'm talking about? That's why they want to say, oh, well, you're not an adult until you get to be 25. 25 is because we are stunting the growth of our young people, making them believe that these ridiculous things are logical. And when you talk to them out in the street, this is what you get. Literal clown makeup on. Like, what is the direction that we're going in with this? Like, what is this exactly? I don't really understand. You say that you're a trans man, but you like guys. How about just saying that you are a woman and you like men, as 99.999% of women in this world do? Just say that. But again, the culture war is very important because if we don't fight it successfully, that kind of thing will be the norm. And it's not going to be really a big deal for that to happen. And if that's the norm, we got a big problem in society. You're lost, Coaster. I'm lost as well. I am very lost, just as you are. Okay. This right here, hold on, let's go back to it right quick. This is a woman, obviously, who identifies as a man. And because she likes men as women like men, that means she's gay. I mean, please protect your children. Do not let them fall into that kind of trap. Oh, and here we go. We got a protest at Target. All right. Now, this looks like, and before we get into it, they have signs that say trans rights are human rights. Trans lives matter. Trans lives matter is crazy. They took the whole Black Lives Matter thing and made it into an LGBT thing. Didn't I tell y'all that? I tell y'all that every time we do a stream where the LGBT have co-opted anything black and made it into theirs so they can use whatever we went through in this country to help them push forward their perverse ideology. That's what's happening. But look, their signs say trans lives matter, trans rights are human rights, all kind of stuff. Now they're in Target with these signs protesting or just marching around. Their clothing looks like it's secondhand from Target. Let's watch. See what I'm talking about? Grown toddlers. You're like in college. What are you doing inside the basket? I stopped riding in the basket when I was probably about 2 or 3 years old. What are you doing in the basket as a 22-year-old? Like, you see what I'm saying? With a cape on. What are we doing? Get out of the basket. Man, oh man, oh man. It's going to be kind of sad to see them really try to get into adulthood. What are they going to do, man? This world, this is a rough world. This is a very rough world. Have you guys ever seen the movie Fences with Denzel, or the play with, who was that, James Earl Jones? And there was a scene where Denzel spoke to his son really crazy. Really crazy. Well, throughout the entire movie, he talked crazy. And I kind of thought about it. I was like, you know what? I got some of them same kind of talks from my dad. And somebody might, if I told you some things that he said, some may say, oh, that was too harsh. That was too aggressive. No, this world is not going to treat you with a pair of kid gloves. When you out there in the streets, it's real. Your mommy ain't there to protect you. Your daddy ain't there to protect you. You on your own. So you got to be able to handle things. You got to be physically strong and mentally strong as a man, especially. So I have to get spoken to a certain way. I have to get raised to not just be comfortable as a boy. I have to be raised to be a man. And a lot of these people have not been raised to be men or women, and they still behave as children. And if that's going to be the future generation, we got a problem. A nation cannot be run by children. But anyway, can I find that scene right quick or something that would give you an idea? Hold on. Oh, yeah, I'll play some of this. But I don't want to get a strike, though, because y'all know how it is. This is a movie scene. So I'm going to kind of have to play it a little bit. Hey, YouTube, please can I get a fair use? Don't give me no strike, boss.
Can I ask you a question? The hell you got to ask me? Mr. Stewicki, the one you got the questions for. How come you ain't never liked me?
All right, so let's pause right there. This right here is a great performance. It was overall, the movie was okay. I ain't trying to be a movie buff right now, but it was all right. But this was a great scene in my opinion.
Like you? Who the hell said I got to like you? What law is there say I got to like you? Want to stand up in front of my face and ask a damn fool-ass question like that? Talking about liking somebody. Come here, boy, when I talk to you.
All right, let's pause again for the fair use. And look, throughout my entire life, my name was not Anthony. My name was Boy to Dad. That was my name. My name was not Anthony. It was Boy.
Straighten up, goddammit. I asked you a question. What law is there say I got to like you? None. All right, then. Don't you eat every day? Answer me when I talk to you. Don't you eat every day?
Answer the question, boy.
Yeah. Nigga, as long as you in my house, you put a sir on the end of it when you talk to me. Yes, sir. You eat every day. Yes, sir. Got a roof over your head. Yes, sir. Got clothes on your back. Yes, sir. Why you think that is? Because of you?
Hell, I know it's because of me, but why do you think that is?
Great question. It's good. A good answer.
Because you like me? Like you. I go out of here every morning. I bust my butt putting up with them crackers every day because I like you. You're about the biggest fool I ever saw. It's my job. It's my responsibility. A man is supposed to take care of his family. You live in my house, fill your belly with my food, put your behind on my bed because...
Pause for the fair use. Sorry for the interruption.
You're my son. Because I like you, because it's my duty to take care of you. I owe a responsibility to you. Now, let's get this straight right here and now before I go along any further. I ain't got to like you. Mr. Rand don't give me my money come payday because he like me. He give it to me because he owe me.
Now, look, if you want to see more of this, the movie is called Fences, like a fence in your yard, Fences, with Denzel Washington. There's also a play from, I think it had James Earl Jones in it, playing the father. So y'all gotta check that out. But yeah, people kind of like, when that movie came out, they were like, oh, he talks so harsh. I'm like, harsh? That's harsh to y'all? That's nothing. That's like regular conversation with me and Dad. It would be just like that. Just like that. No, it'd be all type of, that's how it was. But you have to get that in order to be strong mentally to go out here in the world. If you're coddled, you're being allowed to be a child, a little boy or a girl forever, you'll grow up to not be ready for society. You will be completely ill-prepared for society and what it brings. Any kind of downturn economically, any kind of thing you go through in your life, you'll fall apart. You will fall apart. That's where the drugs come in and things of this nature. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So again, the movie is called Fences with Denzel Washington. I think also, who was in the movie with him? Who played the wife? Viola Davis, she was in that as well. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Now, we have an LGBTQ elemental P pastor confronted by a street preacher. Let's see what goes on here.
Nothing about it. Now you tell me, what did Christ say about homosexuality?
Matthew chapter 19, verse 4.
He says, let a man come together with his wife and let them become one flesh. He was speaking about marriage. That marriage is between one man and one woman.
What was the culture of the time?
No. See, stuff like that. I don't like when they try to like make the Bible be what they want it to be. In the book, it says you can't be a female preacher. So that right there, that should just eliminate your existence, ma'am. And then you want to be LGBT. That's you being in this role is not in the book.
I think marriage is in every culture.
No, what was the culture of the time?
First off, in Romans, it talks about our moral code. Do you believe in the moral code?
Oh, for heaven's sakes. You are so lost. So lost.
Get him, sis. Nah, I don't think she's going to be able to get him. I think not. I mean, for real, if it's me and you a female pastor, I'm not paying you no mind no way, so it don't even matter. You could talk wherever you want to talk. Talk to your cats and have them agree with you.
Because what is the basic principle of the gospel?
To repent and turn to Jesus and know him.
The basic foundation of the gospel is love.
To be saved from sin and death. Right?
Loving your neighbor as yourself.
You are doing the absolute opposite of loving your neighbor. You are leading so many people astray into hell. And I'm letting you know that you're going to be judged worsely by God than anyone else here because you knew the truth and you didn't repent. Now listen, can you listen? Because I listened to you. I listened to you. Romans chapter 1 verse 18. Romans chapter 1 verse 18 does say that man exchanged natural use with man and woman exchanged natural use with woman, and God gave them over to their uncleanness and their lust. So the Apostle Paul did talk about homosexuality. What's up?
All right, so what do y'all think? Who won that exchange, the street preacher or the LGBTQ LMNP X, Y, and Z pastor? At least the LGBTQ ABCDEFG pastor is not a transgender. At least this is an actual woman that's identifying as a woman. I give her those that credit. I give her that credit for at least doing that, because it could have been a transformer making it worse. Okay, it could have been a transformer, but it wasn't. So shout out to her, but shout out to him for keeping it all the way real. All right. Now, if you notice, I've played quite a few of these protest clips, and the race and gender is kind of similar. I'm not trying to just find these things to prove a point. I'm just going through and seeing what's happening. I'm reading the newspapers. I'm on social media. I'm finding clips. I'm looking at protests, and I see kind of like one demographic. So let's watch this right here. We have, is it an Elon protest? I'm not really sure. They protest everything. They mad about everything. But what she says here is not very nice. It's not very nice at all. Let's watch.
I would like for you to die of measles, of polio, of all the horrible diseases that living in this country, in this bubble of privilege and ignorance and morbid stupidity, you've had the luxury of not having to worry about it because it doesn't really affect you. I hope it affects you. I hope it affects your children and your grandchildren. I hope it guts your community. That will make my life meaningful and extremely happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so this person sounds like RFK, but looks like Rosie O'Donnell.
Did you get all of that? Hey,
what an amazing experience that was.
You get all that.
Oh, hold on. These guys are just like Doge. Hold on. just like wizards. It says Doge dividend here. The other guy, his sign says Saving America. Thank you, God. Trump. So, yeah, shout out to those guys out there. But she was none too happy about what they got going on. Not happy about Doge, Elon, Trump. And she got triggered into oblivion. So, yeah, shout out to her. Hopefully you be okay. Hopefully you are all right. Okay, now, this right here is poetic. Again, the left talk about things that they think impact black people, or what they say, people of color, the coloreds. They have never changed. What did they call us in, back in the day, 50s and before then? Colored. And then they say, oh, we got to just call them, what was it? It was colored, Negro. And then Jesse Jackson, 1989, true fact, In 1989, Jesse Jackson declared that we shall be called African American. I don't like colored or African American or Negro. Just say black. Okay. I ain't picking no panty. You don't got to call me Negro. Color, everybody got a color. It could be black, white, candy stripe, Puerto Rican. Everybody got a color. I'm black. Just say that and it's fine. It's totally fine. But these individuals on the left will say that people of color are being hurt. People of color are in danger. And that's why we got to protest. That's why we hate Elon. That's why we hate Trump. But the very things they say that the other side does, they actually do, including discrimination. All right, per usual. Now, they want to go to a bar called Chatterbox. I don't know where this is. Maybe you guys know. If there's only one Chatterbox, or if you see the location, you recognize it. But they try to go to the bar, but they're being turned away because they are Trump supporters.
Hey, I have a question.
No, we're not answering questions. Get out of the bar.
Why?
Because you're a Trump supporter.
I know, but don't you guys want our money?
No, actually we don't. Get out of my bar right now.
You're not welcome.
I'm not fucking around. Get out of my bar.
Okay, now look. Why is it always the men, biological men, who identify as women, they always go get the pistol, the baseball bat? They get super violent. They get violent. Maybe it's that testosterone mixed with estrogen they be on that causes it. Okay. Because I know, look, women, I don't know what being a woman is like. I have no idea. But y'all done told me that, hormonal imbalances, things like that go on. It's kind of hard up here to just keep yourself stable sometimes. But imagine you're a man putting some of that into your body and you've never experienced it before. You did not have that from a little girl up into an adult woman to understand how to do with it properly. You're bringing that into your body as an adult. You're going to go crazy. Look at this guy's face. Look at his eyes. Like you have a 1,000-yard stare with a big stick ready to whip somebody up over a Trump hat.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Out.
Because I'm wearing a Trump
Yes.
hat. That's wild.
I don't care. Get out.
We can call the police, or you can just leave.
You know this is like discrimination, right?
Oh, boo-hoo! Boo fucking who? Get out of my bar.
Laughing because, hey, when we discriminate, if we discriminate, it's totally fine. If you guys discriminate, then it's not fine because you're a racist and you're a Nazi and everything else. And you know what? Because you're a racist and you're a Nazi, I'm going to go draw a swastika on your car, although you're Jewish. You see how that goes? They're funny. They really are funny. If that was a black person and just a regular white guy, NAACP, news, all of that, everything. All right. Now let's keep on going. Oakland, California. What's going on with Oakland? Look, you guys in Oakland, I don't know what's happening. I think Oakland's pretty much done. You couldn't pay me any amount of money in this world to live on the left coast. Definitely not Oakland or San Fran. Oakland is just lawless. You could do whatever you want in Oakland. San Fran, same thing, but it's more money there because of the tech. It's money in Oakland as well because of the tech, but not really. So look, what they did was they hit up a Citgo or a Chevron gas station and they tore out the ATM. I think they hit 4 of these the exact same way by physically tearing out the ATM. If you get this that goes on in the city is very poor. Very poor when you do stuff like this. Watch.
Ooh, Chevron.
Look at this. The whole front, everything, the whole store is just a husk of itself because it was damaged to remove the ATM inside or outside.
Oakland, they hit 4 Chevrons burglarized.
Them bars on the window didn't do a thing. Them bars on the window didn't do a thing.
Took a car, drove it through. Trying to steal some stuff. That's ridiculous.
how can you live in a society that does stuff like this? How can it be? How can you continue to do anything in a place like this? A whole vehicle just drives straight through the actual store to steal some stuff, ATM machine or whatever it is. Yep, they bust in, exactly, Chronicles of the Collapse. They bust in and they haul the machine up, or they haul the machine out, put it on a truck, flatbed, whatever, and take it on out. Again, that's Oakland, California. You could not pay me all the tea in China to live there. You could not do it. All righty, we got a little bit more here. Oh, here's something funny. Now, look, y'all heard my story about being on the airline. I was on Frontier and the guy was high, had to get Narcan on the actual flight. That story was crazy. If you hear Monique, that video, people call me about that. Like, how you do that? Like, people are really asking me how I did that. I'm like, look, Monique, she the best. I couldn't do it without her. But here's someone who is not as patient as me. Okay, we got an officer talking to somebody on the plane, trying to get him off. Okay, let's watch this. I don't know what plane, where they going or what's happening, but somebody refuses to get off the plane. We're going to watch this, and I want to know what you guys would do in the same situation. Check it out.
Because we were asked to come talk to you outside of the plane.
I'm not getting off this plane. I have no reason to. I need to take that lady off this plane, and that's all we've done. Y'all don't have nothing to say to me. Y'all can talk to the hostess. Y'all can talk to the people right here. Y'all don't have not one word to say to me because I'm not going motherfucking nowhere.
Why is that?
Because why?
Well, they told us.
Is she off the plane?
She's going to get off the plane.
Is she off the plane now? Nowhere.
Why is that?
Because why?
Now, look, if it's me and that's going on, I'm not really going to be doing all this patient stuff. Like, you got white cops. They're not trying to be too aggressive. They're trying to be cool. But if it's me, nah, man, you're going to get off the plane. And really, I would like to be able to land some strikes if I could. You understand what I'm saying? Like, not nothing that's too crazy, but enough to just make you wake up and get out the seat. Yeah, for real. Because we don't got time for that, man. People, they're trying to go from point A to point B. You holding the airline up. People got to make money. You holding that up. Nah, you got to get off the plane, bro. Deplane. Okay, you don't like it, whatever. You feel like it's unfair. Well, talk to them after you get off the plane. Because don't nobody got no time for you to be on there. Like I said, in my case, I was trying to be cool until I realized I got to step in right now because I'm not getting deplaned. I'm not having a delay. I got to step in right now. And when I stepped in, it's like the whole plane was quiet. I'm loud already. Like, my voice right now is my regular voice. So when I got a little bit louder, the entire plane from the front to the back heard me. And he got off. I was like, all right, then. That's what we're going to do. You ain't going to be on the plane. I ain't going nowhere. Yes, you are, sir. Yes, you are going somewhere. You're getting off the plane. We not doing that. All right, we got Charlie Kirk back on the college campus. All right. Now, I don't know who's making these videos with this crossbar action. Hold on, pardon me. With this crossbar, I don't know what's going on with this crossbar right here. I don't know who did that, but whatever. So Charlie Kirk back on the college campus. And I like to see Charlie on the campus because Charlie's getting older. And as he gets older, he gets wiser. And he is more of an uncle type of figure to these young people on the campus. Before, when he was doing this at first, he was real young, like almost their age. He might have been like 23, 24 doing these college campus tours. But now he's like 31, 32, older, wiser. Let's see what he says right here.
Under Trump, it was $75,000 a year.
Interesting. I kind of just don't.
You care about ending war? Yeah, war's bad.
Did he like actually end war?
Yeah, it was the first president in 32 years for no new wars for 4 years.
Interesting.
New war under Obama, new war under Bush, new war under Clinton, new war under Biden. No new wars under Donald Trump. 4 years.
Right. So hold on. I had another point. I had a lot. I've been.
Let me ask you this: what would change your vote for Trump, if anything?
Probably a lot. It would probably take a lot, because I mean, the fact that he hasn't won the popular vote both terms that he ran, it's
You know what that's like
I mean?
saying? That's like saying, well, I know the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. I totally get that. But did you guys know that the Ravens, they got more yards? It's a completely irrelevant criteria. You run to win the electoral vote. It's like, no, but we kicked more field goals. Yeah, but did you have more points?
But look, Charlie, what you're saying is right. And I think it was important to make that point, which is a very good one, and not necessarily correct her about the fact that he did win the popular vote this time. He won the popular vote this time and the electoral. He actually curb stomped her in the popular vote and the electoral. But his point that he made was probably the more important one to make in that moment. Again, there goes that wisdom from an older Charlie Kirk.
So the Electoral College is the ultimate tally of points, not how many yards you get.
Right. Which, I mean, I'm still trying to follow up on all that.
For sure, I get that.
Yeah.
And what's your name?
Michaela.
Michaela, I want to get to the next question. I want you to think about what we said. Try to follow some of our accounts. If not, that's fine. There's a lot of propaganda out there. Try to bring down the noise. And I will say this. Donald Trump has people around him, 2 former Democrats that ran for the presidency, Bobby Kennedy and Tulsi Gabbard. Do you know who those people are? If not, that's okay. No. You should do research. They're former Democrats that ran for the presidency, and they're behind Trump because Trump is a ticket that's unifying the country and will make the country great again.
What about the 13 different people that worked alongside of him, including his vice president?
Yeah, the people he fired. I think it's awesome.
No, they are not with him.
No, I think it's awesome they're against him.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
So
you
it's
know
like-
why they're against him? Because he's a threat to the system they represent. Because we're actually going to have a voice against the warmongers and the neocons and the corporate interests.
Okay.
And you know, over 300 former generals and military officers just endorsed Trump. So, just the other day. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
She was a good sport. She was good. And she's young, probably like 18, 19, something like this. A kid, basically. You know, a young adult. I don't want to say kid because we can't infantilize these adults. But a young adult. She may not know who Bernie Sanders is because she's 18 and Bernie's like 1,000 years old. If you're 18 and somebody's like, hey, do you know this 84-year-old senator from Vermont? They might not know. Because the Bernie time, I think, was... When was Bernie really popular? Like 2012? I'm not really sure. It might have been before Obama or during Obama, Bernie became popular. If Bernie was popular, let's say in 2008, and it's now 2025, he probably was popular before she was even born. So she don't know who that is. So, and a lot of her not really knowing a lot, it goes back to K through 12 indoctrination, not teaching them important things, teaching them things that don't really matter, teaching them things about LGBTQ. I tell you what, they know all about LGBTQ, LMNOP, X, Y, and Z. They know that, but they don't always know important things they should know. When was Bernie popular? I don't even remember when that whole Bernie, Santa Claus, what was that? The Occupy Wall Street. When did all that type of stuff go down? Y'all let me know in the comments. All right. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, speaking about a young lady who has learned some things over the years, become more wise, become more knowledgeable. Was it 2016? It wasn't 2016. Was it 2016 for real? I feel like it was before that. I don't know. It wasn't. It could have been. It could have been 84 or ODB 420. But I'm speaking about when his message became very popular. 2011. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It was right around then. Yeah, 2011, 2010, something like that. So we're now in 2025. If that girl, let's say she's 20, if she's 20 years old, that means she was born in 2005, right? Not 2005. Yeah, 2005. So when Bernie was very popular, she was like knee high to a grasshopper. She don't know nothing about that. It's like, okay, I'm born in 84. So I wasn't really around for, Nixon or any of that, like 70, like Jimmy Carter, Nixon. That was before my time. My time was like right when Reagan got elected. I remember the tail end of Reagan, but not anything beyond that. I remember Reagan leaving and then HW coming in. That was like right around 88. I remember that very well, or kind of a little bit. But anyway, let's go to this. Anna from the Young Turks. Now, I've been seeing her for quite a few years. with Chank. I ain't call him Chunk no more. I think he's been able to earn my respect, and I don't call him Chunk. Yogurt. Chink Uyghur. And she has improved. She's improved. I'm not going to say she's like us on the Republican side, but she has improved. Let's check it out.
When I look at my life right now and I ask myself, which political party has made my life worse? It's not the Republican Party. Locally speaking, the Democrats have complete control and they have nearly destroyed my family's livelihood. Okay, we are living in trash and squalor everywhere. And unless the Democratic Party actually acknowledge these issues and solve these issues, rather than stealing our taxpayer money and funneling it to their nonprofit friends, they keep doing this, they're going to keep losing. And I'm going to keep speaking out against them. I don't care how much they hate Trump. I don't care how naughty the Republicans are being. Right now, the people having a negative impact on my life is the Democratic Party, and they need to change their ways. When we say we want to change the status quo, it doesn't mean we want to live in anarchy. It doesn't mean that we want to have $24 billion of our taxpayer money in California stolen by these nonprofits. It means that we want working people to be rewarded for their hard work. We want affordable housing. We want better working conditions, higher wages, better health care. These are things that Democrats used to purport to want to do. They don't do any of it anymore. And so I'm done with them until they change their ways.
Yeah. So there we go. Again, that is Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks, talking about how the Democrats have ruined California, basically, because she's a Californian. A lot of the Californians, they have a hard time being able to understand the conservative point of view because they're kind of isolated over there. They're away from us, so it's far. They kind of do their own thing over there. They don't necessarily realize the things that we do culturally here in the South and the rest of the country that maintains the country and maintains things the way they should be, giving us a really good quality of life. They don't really understand that. They understand some things, but they don't understand everything. And as a result, their politics get kind of weird out there. It gets very weird out there. That's why you got a Gavin Newsom. That's why you got Nancy Pelosi and all these people over there. That's why you have that, is because of, it's just California. So yeah, shout out to her. Hopefully she continues to go down that path. And maybe by the time she gets to be 80 years old, she'll be a Republican. That'd be fantastic. Now, the we got the DoE, Department of Education, has cut, what's that, like 1,300 jobs? So DoE cut 1,300 jobs, and I think another 600 have either retired or resigned. So you're talking about nearly 2,000 jobs that have been done away with at DoE. Now, some don't like this, but look, okay, I got a graph for you guys right quick. I got a graph because this is pretty important to understand because, again, black folks get using this argument, oh, ABL, if you're for the DoE cuts, you don't want to see black kids succeed. Cutting money is not going to impact education. Can I say that one more time for the folks in the back? Cutting money is not going to impact education. How much does it cost? How much does it cost to teach little Johnny that 1 + 1 is 2? How much does that cost? We're talking about basic skills that a lot of our kids don't have. We're talking about reading, writing, arithmetic, 2 + 2, C-spot run. We don't have these basic skills. But yet, DoE keeps getting more and more and more money. The federal department, not the State Department of Education, but the federal Department of Education, they just keep getting more and more money. Here's a graph. Check it out. Look, percent change in schooling numbers, 1993 to 2018. ABL, where's the updated graph? I think you see the trend here. The trend is pretty obvious. So look, 1993, that's where the data starts. Since then, students have declined by 6.9%. ACT scores have gone down by 1.06%. We have a 10.14% increase in teachers, 51.1% increase in admin, and 78.5% increase in spending. So the spending is not lining up with an improvement in the students. Some are going to say, well, we got inflation. Okay. We got 78.5% inflation from 93 to 2018. I don't think so. Why are we adding 50% more admin for fewer students? What are they adminning? What are they adminning? I think we could cut some of this funding down and still teach our kids how to read, write, and do arithmetic, the 3 R's. And I know it starts with an A, but you understand what I'm talking about. The 3 R's, reading, writing, arithmetic. This right here, this graph does not reflect an increase in that. We see a decrease in ACT scores, not an increase. And you think if you spend that much more money, 78.5% more from then to then, you would see an improvement, but it's pretty much flatline. All right. Now, this is from Tampon Tim. His caption said, teachers want to teach, but Trump's cuts are leaving teachers without the resources they need to ensure every student receives a quality education. Okay, let's check this out.
Hello, my name is Emma Seibert, and I am a special education teacher.
Oh, nice. Yay. Yeah, extra.
My district gets almost $15 million specifically to serve our students with disabilities and our low-income families. My question for you is, where is that money going to come from to ensure that we have equitable access for education that all of our students deserve?
Let's pause. Now, why does it cost that much? Where's the money going? Who's getting the money? Because you could say, okay, we get $15 million. Great, fantastic. But where does the money actually go? You can say it goes toward disabled children, but how? Does it go toward a few consultants and, assistant principal and diversity director, diversity, equity, inclusion czar? Where does that money go?
Gwen and I, this is very personal. The country got to see our son Gus, who's a wonderful kid. He's a wonderful kid. It's through those programs and that extra funding that has brought Gus along, and God be with us is going to graduate this spring. So,
Tampon Tim, you don't have any money? Like, is your boy going to public school? I don't think so.
Now, the federal government promised us 40% of those costs. They've never gotten above 20%, so the states try and make up for it. Now what they've done is they've decimated that group that ensures that. The law says we have to do this, but they're no longer there to enforce it. The civil rights part of education.
Civil rights? Tampon Tim, you white, right? So civil rights, oh, I'm sorry. That has been co-opted by everybody else, and they get helped. And blacks, we'll get to you at a certain point. Hey, black folks, I know you fought and died. Literally, you got deleted. MLK got shot. Malcolm got shot. We know that happened, but check it out. Thanks for the movement. I appreciate your blood, sweat, tears. We're going to take that from you now, and I'm going to give those money to my son who is disabled, although I got money on my own, and so does my wife. But anyway, I'm the governor of Minnesota, but I'm going to take public money to help my son. Come on, man. Be serious.
Department is gone. So that they're basically just telling us, well, let's just warehouse some of these kids and let's just get them jobs where we can, where it is. Rather than using the expertise, using the pedagogy that we know brings these child to the best that they can possibly be to lift them up. And as we know is, again, even if you have no morality about caring about that child, it's better that they get a good education and they contribute into the economy, and you have less services down the road. All of those things make a difference.
All right, there we go. So basically, hey, let's take some of the monies that's for quote unquote civil rights. Hey, I see a comment in here. I didn't even see that until you said it. You're funny. Now I can't unsee it. I'm going to try to just wash my eyes out with soap to unsee what I saw. Tim, you wouldn't be a lady and cover your, do something, bro, because I ain't want to see all that. But anyway, that was just complete nonsense. A lot of that money goes into the hands of consultants. That Daily Beast article, hold on. Remember the Daily Beast article? I show this often. I'm going to show it to you right now that I got a captive audience. Look at this. This is from Salon. This is back in 2014. Mark Zuckerberg's Newark schools cash drop. And for a little bit of context, he gave Newark, New Jersey schools $100 million in cash at once. Boom. $100 million. Everybody got paid, but Raheem still can't read. They said that right here on this news article. It's right there on the website. You can go to it. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. Everybody got paid, but Raheem still can't read. That's what goes on. Oh, we got to help these black kids. They need funding, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, the consultant get paid, admin person get paid, principal get paid. Everybody gets paid, but Raheem still can't read. That's what goes on. So I don't want to hear a thing about Department of Education, money being cut. Oh, how are we going to help these kids? Your kids can't read. When you were getting the money, Raheem still was struggling. He still was reading with his finger, struggling with basic words that go beyond 2 syllables. How will that money help? It won't. I'm getting triggered. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Hey, Dirt Bike, ASAP's name is actually Rakim, like the rapper, which is funny. I didn't even know his name was Rakim. I was like, your name was Rakim, like the rapper? Is that who you were named after? Imagine having your bundle of joy in your arms and you say, you know what? What will his name be? What are we going to name him? Rakim, like the rapper. I am not naming my kids after rappers, entertainers, none of that. I'm not gonna name my child Drake or Future or nothing like this. If you name your child after a rapper, I don't know what to tell you, man. You want your child to pretty much be doomed for the rest of his life. Some of these names, man. Some of y'all names, you name your kids just out of the blue from nowhere, making random stuff up, and there's always a fight how to pronounce it. I can understand cultural names. You know, okay, you living in Eastern Europe and you got a 15 consonant name with no vowels in it. I understand. But you're an American and you say, okay, I'll just create this random name with no basis in culture, language, history, nothing. I don't like that too much at all. But anyway, back to Tampon Tim, and then I'm going to get into another one. But he's talking about Elon being a South African. I've never heard so many mentions of someone being from Africa as a bad thing. He's South African. Okay, is that a bad thing? So when I hear African, I got to think something negative. Maybe when y'all hear that, you think something negative. Maybe that's the case. Let's watch.
Conservative about an unelected South African Nepo baby firing people to the edge.
And the crowd goes wild. The crowd goes wild. And a sea full of white faces up there in Minnesota. I thought that you guys were so tolerant and loving and you loved everybody. But when someone mentions South African nationalism, that's a bad thing. Okay. I didn't know. I thought you guys were progressive and beyond the xenophobia. How xenophobic is that? Ain't that how they say you're xenophobic? And we got it again. So you know it ain't just one off. And shout out to Malik on the left, conservative brother. And she will mention the whole South African thing. And he's going to kind of question it. And you're going to see her kind of like stuttering a little bit. Let's watch.
By an unelected South African billionaire donor to Donald Trump.
What does that have to do with South Africa? What does South Africa have to do with anything?
Anyway, because that's where he's from, and he doesn't believe in our democracy.
Well,
so that's
he's
a
an American.
problem. So you're so worried about illegal immigrants taking jobs. Well, there you got with immigrants.
Well, who is you? I haven't said anything
But
about
anyway,
illegal
the government is being shut down right now as we speak. With all
the government is not being shut down.
Oh no!
No,
ask the Department of
democracy
Education.
is being shut down. That's what she's saying.
Well, ask the Department of Education folks who just got half of them fired. Ask the IRS folks who got fired. Ask the people in OPM who got fired. Ask the people in the Department
That's
of
not the
Defense
same as shutting the government down, which is what you seem as if you wanted the government to do. You want the government to shut down because many people, you wanted the government to shut down. And
these people, man, look at Torre. Like, look at these unserious. You have on the jean jack. Like, what is all this going? Like, these people, man, I don't like these people. And these are the individuals who, like, you know what? I got to say one thing. This entire panel can vote. Malik, he'll do right. Touré, the lady with the, I don't know what's going on with her hair. This dude, these people, they actually vote. They're out there voting. So when you're wondering why a Gavin Newsom is in office, why a Castro, what's his name? Fidel's boy, you know what I'm talking about, Trudeau. When they're in office and you like, how did they get in office? Who's voting for him? You could see who's voting for him right there. There we go. Why mention his ethnicity or his nation of origin? Why mention that? Because you're racist. Because you guys think red flag when you hear Africa. When I hear Africa, I'm thinking about my Nigerian brothers, okay? I'm thinking about jollof rice. I'm thinking about that kind of thing. I ain't thinking about, I'm scared. Nah, I ain't thinking about that. Anyway, shout out to them. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, speaking of CNN, we have, who is this? Is this Linda McMahon? Hold on. Nah, pardon me. Lisa McClain. She's going to call out CNN on CNN. All righty.
All you need to do is turn on the TV. Look at your show. It's nothing but fear mongering. That's all the Democrats do. What's inflation doing? What's inflation? Up or down? Oh, it's down. What's the prices of eggs? Oh, they're down. What's the prices of mortgage? Oh, it's down, right? But we don't cover the positive things. We only cover the negative things to get everyone worked up. So here's two things. This could be a potential problem, but it actually could be a potential long-term solution. But when you don't want to cover the other half and all you talk about is the one half, of course that's what you're going to hear.
Now, the context is tariffs because, you know, with tariffs, it's going to come some growing pains. You're going to have some adjustments, but the idea behind tariffs, and hold on, before I continue, there's some light flickering going on because we got a storm headed this way. So the power could go out. If it does go out, like if the stream just stops, you know, the power went out. But anyway, the tariffs, the idea behind tariffs is to bring jobs and money back into the country and also to help fund the government. That's how it was before. Founding fathers, let's chart. Okay, you want to send things here, you want to sell things here, and then in the best marketplace in the world with the most money, the best consumers in the world, you want to sell things here, you got to pay the price. You got to pay the cost of being the boss. You got to pay the price. So there's a tariff. If it makes more sense for these companies to produce here in America and give Americans jobs, then they will do that to avoid the tariff. It just makes sense because we need jobs in the country. We need manufacturing. We need business back here that Americans can do. We can't just consume without jobs to be able to produce revenue for ourselves or for our families. We can't. We got to be able to have the jobs. We can't just be consuming all the time. There's quite a few rich people here in this country that can consume, and that's fine. But we need to have regular, everyday people that are able to provide for themselves rather than being reliant upon the government. Okay. Now, speaking about tariffs, this comedian guy is talking about the tariffs. You guys may have seen my video about this. And there's some things that Canada has that they could cut us off from as part of the trade war. Nothing that's really that serious. I think the biggest thing we need from Canada is power and water. Well, energy and water. We need energy and we need water. That's it. Anything else, there's no company that we really need in the U.S. from Canada. But let's watch.
Okay, everybody, the Americans are hitting us with tariffs. We gotta fight back. What do you got? We can shut down every single Tim Hortons they have in the U.S.
Now, look, Tim Hortons, I had no idea what that was. I think I had seen Tim Hortons, but I didn't know what that was. You guys had to tell me in the comments, like, oh, it's a coffee shop. I had no idea. I am today years old when I realized what a Tim Hortons was. So That ain't gonna work. And some of y'all said y'all said it's American at this point. I don't know if it is or not. Either way, it could be Canadian, American, South African. I don't care what it is. I have no desire to go there.
Nobody likes Tim's anymore. Tastes like piss. What else? Okay, what about Lululemon? That's Canadian.
Now, y'all know I'm a Lululemon guy. Okay, no yoga pants. I know the jokes. ABL wears yoga pants, and he has Starbucks in the morning, and he has a little pet dog in his arm. It ain't none of that going on. I'm still a goon. But I like the actual pants, the trousers. Okay, they fit right. It's not tight. I got plenty of room. Yeah, that's what I like a lot. So shout out to Lululemon. So if they cut them, I might be a little upset. But when there's a will, there's a way. And you know the funny part about Lululemon? It's not that serious. It's other clothing brands that are kind of very similar to it. Cuts, if you guys know about online brands, Cuts makes pants like Lululemon. Built Basics also does. So I might kind of be upset if they close Lulu's, but I'll be all right. I could find an alternative. Let's keep on going.
Okay, now we're talking. Keep going. All right, here's one. Pornhub. That's Canadian? Yep, Pornhub is Canadian. You're telling me we had a nuke this whole time and no one told me about it? Yeah, we can totally just ban Pornhub in the States and that'll give us an advantage, right? Oh, you don't say. Yeah, that's an advantage. We fucking win. That's it. Mic drop. What else are they gonna do, Nick?
All right, there we go. So we're talking about the Hub. That's a Canadian company. Now, I had no idea that was, until I saw that, I had no idea it was a Canadian company, but you could go ahead and block it. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. Go ahead and block it. Go ahead. That'll actually be good for Americans to reduce all these explicit mainstream websites. I say go ahead and do it. I mean, really, look, you're not actually saying a bad thing right there. Go ahead and make that happen. And to be totally honest, you're not, the closure of that website will not make a dent in just how much of that content is out there. Instagram at this point is ridiculous. You can see pretty much everything on Instagram on the regular page. It's just normal. It's just right there. You could watch TV, same thing. It's too much. If I was in a coma for 15 years and I just woke up in 2025 and you hand me a smartphone, I'll be like, what am I looking at right here? What is this? First of all, you handed me a smartphone and then you say, okay, go to this app. What's that? And I go to Instagram and I see all that. I'm like, what is this? It's normalized. So we need to get off of that kind of mentality. So go ahead and ban it. I wouldn't even be mad. Go ahead. And I know some of these guys are going to be doing VPN, trying to get around it. But I don't think if they cut that off, it'll be as bad as TikTok. Oh man, some of y'all, when TikTok fell apart, oh my gosh, some of y'all were going through it. I'm talking about y'all were getting ready to end. Y'all were like, life has no more meaning. I'm done. I want to go to the bridge, Empire State Building, and just do a swan dive straight to the bottom of the floor. I was like, look, it's okay. It's going to be okay. I put out a video right when that happened. And the reason why I did it is to calm people down. It was a short video to calm people. I got calls on my phone about it. I got calls like, yo, what's up with TikTok? They going to bring it back? I need that. I need that right now. Like, come on. People called me on my phone about TikTok. I was like, yo, y'all got a problem. Y'all have a problem. If you cannot leave TikTok alone for half a day or an hour, you got a problem. All right. Now, 2028, who's going to be the nominee for the Democratic Party? I told them, I said it should be Gavin. That's going to be their best bet. I mean, if they want to ignore me, that's fine. Don't take my word for it. Put somebody else up there, including who she says.
I think it's high time for the boys to step aside and let the ladies take over. It's time for Jasmine Crockett and AOC. It's time for the ladies.
All right, so AOC, Jasmine Crockett, what do y'all think? 2028 potential, 2028 hopeful? Imagine seeing, look, listen, if I ever in my lifetime, I could be 1,000 years old. If I ever in my lifetime see AOC as a president, man, just go ahead and just, at that point, I got to go somewhere else, man. Hopefully by that time, Mars is operational because I'm going. If AOC becomes a president, I'm going to Mars. Understand what I'm saying? If Jasmine Crockett becomes president, man, I'm going to the sun. I'm going somewhere else. I'm not going to be able to do it. I don't foresee that happening. If Hillary Clinton couldn't win twice, and not only couldn't win, but got stomped in the wine twice, how is AOC or Crockett going to win? It ain't going to win. Shit, they're not going to win. It's not going to happen. Yeah, but I'm going to the moon. I'm going to Mars. I'm going somewhere. We got to go. We got to get up out of here. I don't want nothing to do with it. Yeah, because you're talking about two highly incompetent people. Now, this was a controversial video, actually. People were kind of like, nah, ABL, you know, they got a point, all this, that, and the third. So Jasmine Crockett's talking about why the migrant crisis was necessary. And she says it's because you guys don't want to send your kids to work on the farm, all this, that, and the third. Now, this point of view has been shared by many, that Americans don't want to work these, you know, quote unquote, hard jobs. The problem is that we got a lot of homeless people. We got a lot of people that are young with no job prospects. Why can't they do this? And if it was me, look, check it out. If it was me and somebody got locked up, you got gang members, you got people that do stuff like this, violent crime, I would have them out in the fields working. Okay, you in California getting locked up. You're in wine country. You'll be picking grapes. You're going to be out there chucking corn, grapes, soybean, cabbage, whatever, if you get locked up. Straight up. For free. You're going to be a slave. Okay, do that. Now, hopefully, once you get free, you can understand that you can actually do that and get paid some money. It may not be a whole lot of money, but it's better than being out there thugging and drugging and carrying on. But let's hear from her right quick. And if you want the hat, Randy, if you want the hat, visit the link in the description, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. Go to the website, go to the hats section, and you'll find this one, I Survived the Pandemic. Let's keep on rocking and rolling.
How many of you are sending your kids to college to go and work on them? Okay, well, guess who is working the farms? So that you can afford your food. So that you can have food.
Let's pause. Now, farmers get a certain number of H-1Bs allotted to them to bring in migrant workers officially, legally. What they do is bypass the process and bring in straight up illegal aliens, but they're given the H-1Bs already. So why must you have the illegals? You're given the H-1Bs to bring in people properly and vet them.
You can have food. Now, how many of you are looking to send your kids into hospitality after this college education so they can go and make the beds at the hotels? How many of you are planning to send your kids to college? Because that's what we do here. We send everybody to college.
Let's pause again. Now, the whole thing about making the beds in the hotels, the same thing that Obama said back in the day, fruit pickers and bed makers, slave labor, kind of basically same kind of concept. I mean, what's wrong with a young person doing those jobs? When I was, how old was I? 16, I started working. Sam's Club, Walmart, Sam's Club, Garden Ridge, same kind of thing, right? And then I worked at Old Country Buffet, 17 to 21 or 22. I mean, what was I doing? Washing dishes, cleaning bathrooms, taking out trash, taking out the hot grease, just working in the back of the restaurant. So I could have easily done something like working in the hotel, making sure that's cleaned up. If I clean a restaurant bathroom, and some of y'all are nasty in these bathrooms. And can I say something right quick? And I'm not trying to attack nobody, but what I learned from cleaning bathrooms for probably about 2 or 3 years, I did that part. What I learned was the women's restroom was always the absolute worst. Oh my God, the absolute worst. You would think that it'd be the boys, right? Boys, yeah. Nah, men are pretty straightforward. We just pee and, you know, we pretty straightforward. But women, I got more stuff going on. Diapers all over the place. It was a mess, a complete mess in the women's restroom. But I digress. My point is, if I did all that, I could go clean up a hotel. I could go work in the farm. I could go build a house. When I was in high school, I took shop. I know how to frame up a house. That's easy. We did that. We framed sheds and sold them to people in the actual community. In high school, I'm like 15 years old doing this. Why can't I do that when I'm young, even in college? I could work on a construction site and go to school. My white friends did that when I was in high school. They were roofing at like 17 to 18 and going to college. And now they have really good careers, making a lot of money. But they did those jobs early. But according to her, we don't want to do it and only the migrants want to do it. That's completely BS. And a lot of them don't even have skills in construction. They come over here less skilled than me and get those jobs over Americans. And here's something else. A lot of Americans don't want to work. However, a lot of us do want to work. When we go try to get jobs in construction, you're going to face a problem because do you pickety panty? Are you from Guatemala, Mexico, Nicaragua, Salvador, Honduras? Are you from there? Good luck getting on a job. You could be educated. You could be an operator. You could be skilled at everything on the job site. Excuse me. But if you black or not the white foreman, you're not going to really be able to do much on the job. You be outside the job holding the sign. Holding the sign. You're an operator. You got skills at everything on the job site. You got HVAC. You got plumbing. You got all of that. You holding the sign because you don't pick in no penny. But then she'll say the reason why we're not getting those jobs is because we don't want to work. Make it make sense. It's because those jobs are dominated by the migrant community and they get paid a low amount of money. It's very simple. But keep pushing that narrative about Americans not wanting to work. You're not getting the full picture. You're not getting the full story. There are some lazy Americans. There's also lazy migrants. Hey, Ms. Crockett, if the migrants come here and work, and that's their whole thing, they work, why must we spend $450 billion with a B, $450 billion a year on them? Why subsidize this so-called great and reliable labor from our taxpayer money? I don't understand. You give them money, they get the jobs, and when I want to get a job with them, hey, gringo, hold the sign, gringo, hold the sign. Hold the sign right here, my friend. Okay, hold the sign right here, my friend. That's all you're gonna do. It's crazy. Nah, man, you want to be here legally and let Americans get these jobs. It's simple. Simple. So yeah, when anybody tries to tell you that, oh, y'all don't want to work, that's why the migrants are here, you got to kind of like set them straight. It'd be like, nah, you don't really understand what's going on in this world. Okay, now, Lil Yachty, my favorite video from the past couple of days. Lil Yachty, hold on, pardon me. Lil Yachty's a rapper. He's young, he's like 27. Quinlan Blackwell is an influencer. She's like 24. These are young people. And the context here, you're talking about being pro-black, blackity black, all this and that and the third. And then she asked him about Black Lives Matter. And then he had a good response.
You spent $100,000 on a trip to Disney once. How much have you spent on charitable causes this year? Let's start cooking these pancakes.
This year technically just started, so this year, I mean, like, it's hard to.
What about last year?
Well, last year, it's hard to gauge.
All right. So what about the year before last year?
Oh, well, that year, that's a good year. Yeah, it's just blurry. I be doing so much.
BLM? Since you want to be so black power?
BLM is a scam.
Clip that. Send it to the fucking news.
BLM was literally a scam. They had bought mansions, and you probably wouldn't know anything about it because you don't care about black people. So you don't follow black
I do care about black people. Look at my chocolate. You're mad.
It's a disguise.
You're mad. I think I'm literally the most pro-black person in this room.
Because you have an all-white staff?
They're not white. They're POC. Thank you.
They're not white. They're POC. What that mean, POC? They're not black though. They're not black. POC. What that mean? You got a Jose Ibarra from Cuba, a straight up white man looking like a college football coach or something like this. Straight up white man. Okay, like cut the nonsense. And then somebody talking about some I'm gay. What that mean? So what? You're gay. Congratulations. You won a rainbow flag for your troubles, for your hard work being a gay.
Thank you. What? Don't laugh.
I too have a gay. So I also am
gay.
I too have a gay. Hey, Lil Yachty with that. I too have a gay. I love that. That was fantastic. Lil Yachty, that was good. That was very well said. Not too over the top, not trying to be extra and flowery, straight down to the point. It's a scam. They bought mansions. Okay, you got a gay person. Great. I got a gay person too. So what? And what that mean? So what? Who cares about any of that? What it got to do with being black? Black Lives Matter. You talking about black lesbian Marxists, big, large mansions, buying large mansions, big, long money. Shout out Lil Yachty for keeping it all the way real. Now, Howard Lutnick, and I want to. You guys got to tell me, what do you think about his proposal, Howard Lutnick, to have zero federal income tax for all those making less than $150 a year? Good idea, bad idea, somewhere in between. Let's talk about it. What was the show? I don't know what the show was. Back up. I don't know what that was, but the people involved. Lil Yachty, a.k.a. Lil Boat, and Quinlan Blackwell, QUENLINBLSEKWELL. Check it out. This is Howard Lutnick, our Commerce Secretary, talking about no one under 150 will pay federal income tax if what they're saying is able to go forward.
Who cares? I tell you what, who cares? Donald Trump cares. And when we balance the budget, you know what that means? That means our deficits stop. Interest rates come smashing down. His goal is to have external revenue. You know, the way I think about it, we all are so used to paying taxes. We're so used to it. We have like Stockholm syndrome. You know, don't stop the Internal Revenue Service, God forbid. How about this? The rest of the world leans on our economy, breathes off our economy. Not only is our economy $29 trillion GDP, but we consume $20 trillion a year. We are the buyer of everybody's stuff. We buy everybody's stuff. So who's more important? The people who sell stuff or the people who buy stuff? So we are the buyer of everybody's commodities, products, goods and services. Everything comes from us, right? Let them pay a membership fee. We all understand that model. Let them pay. How about we, you and I, and every single person we know pay less? How about no tax on tips? How about no tax on overtime? How about no Social Security? How about all those things? These are the kind of thoughts that will change America. I know what his goal is. No tax for anybody who makes less than $150,000 a year. That's his goal.
There we go. That's the goal. No tax, no federal income tax for those who make less than $150 a year. Like I said in my video, I did the math for Tennessee. If you're living in California, I know it'd be different. But in Tennessee, if you make $150 the max, you can save $40,000 a year. $40,000 a year. So if we're able to get that passed, I'm with it. Because look, even still, the majority of the federal income taxes come from the top 2%. That's just the reality. What they get from us is negligible. It's money, but it ain't that much. DOGE in my opinion, will be able to cut more from the government spending than that money from those who make under 150 would have brought in. Like I said before, if those can find $500 billion a year per year in cuts, or they'll cut $500 billion, therefore we won't spend that much every year. And they could cut $500 billion, and then our money would be $200 billion for the lower than 150 people. You still are not spending $300 billion. So you didn't lose at all. You actually were able to gain some money back in your pocket as far as the federales. And then we got tariffs to charge them to be able to sell here. That will also add quite a bit to our revenue as a country. So I think that makes sense. It makes perfect sense. All right. And some are going to say, oh, you taxing the rich. Nah, it's not about that. It's about not, trying to nickel and dime poor people, because that's what's going on. Like, most of your IRS audits and whatnot are for small accounts. They're trying to get you for $50, $100. I'm like, all right, you trying to get the IRS on me for $1,000. Meanwhile, you paying this person in Annandale, Virginia, $780,000 to count how many rocks are on the beach in some random village in Indonesia. Why? How about we cut those jobs and all that unneeded spending and pass savings to the American people? There are so many problems that can be fixed by allowing Americans to keep more of their own money and stop trying to take $1,000, $500, stuff like that, with 87,000 new IRS agents. 87,000 new IRS agents they wanted to come get what, $100 from you? Come on, let's just stop playing games. It doesn't make any sense. You're going to spend more on things you don't need than you would get from those who you're trying to extract it from. Did you get audited, jackass? Well, I ain't cuss, but that's what your name is. Did you get audited for real? It's a mess. So yeah, shout out to you guys in the chat. You guys are fantastic. Hold on. And somebody says you're in WNC, West North Carolina. Is everything good, Ed? Are you in the area that got hit by the storm? How's everything in your neck of the woods, Ed? Out there in North Carolina. Yeah, you're right, B. Gatlin. No, the state income tax ain't going to be touched. It'll be the federal income tax. That's correct. But check it out. Hey, check it out. I live in Tennessee where we have no state income tax. So I will be able to get, if this goes through, no state income tax at all and no federal up to 150. Now, I ain't gonna tell you how much I make. I'm gonna just say I make 85,000. How about that? Random number. But what I'm saying is there's already no state income tax. All we got is sales tax. We got kind of a high sales tax, but it ain't that high. I think ours is like, what, 925? But in Georgia, it's like 7. So Georgia is like 7, and they got a state income tax. Here it's like 9 and change with no income tax, no state income tax. Or in this case, federal up to a certain point. Normally, I pay about 25% of my revenue in taxes, 20-25% of my revenue in taxes quarterly. Which, hey man, them checks that you got to write, they hurt. They hurt really bad. Oh my God. Because I don't have like a regular W-2 type situation. I'm 1099 all day long. I'm getting sent invoices and 1099s and all kind of stuff. So it's different. Them checks you got to write, Lord have mercy. It's a mess. But if you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's get to some super chats. Then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Summer Sky, you're asking, how do we guys get revenue? What do you mean? You talking about the state, or you talking about me as like a YouTuber? Oh, okay. Summer Sky says, so the sales, taxes, how do you generate revenue for the police, fire? What Well, a lot of it is sales tax, but there's other taxes, of course, if you are a business in the state. I don't really get into the complexities of that, but the main thing that we do is state income tax. It's the sales tax. That's where the revenue comes from. That's why it's a little bit higher. It's sales tax. And also we don't spend a lot of money either. And we have things here that generate revenue. It's kind of hard to describe, but basically we have creative ways to be able to pay for things, and it just works. And we got a good system. We have good leaders. We don't have wasteful spending. Shout out to my governor, Bill Lee. Shout out to Cameron Sexton. Shout out to everybody. Marsha Blackburn, Fleischman, Haggerty, everybody. Good people, good leadership. California, on the other hand, will charge you a very high state income tax and then set the money on fire in front of you. We don't have this deep-seated corruption. When we have any kind of corruption, we find the person and lock them up right away. We lock them up right away. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Oh, we got property tax. Yeah, we got property tax here. But it ain't that bad. The taxes are not too bad here. It's pretty good. It's really good. Now, where I live, when I bought my house, they were trying to charge me county tax and city tax. I'm like, no. Hey, I called my man. I'm like, yo, nah, I see my contract right. I read my contract. I see right here it says they want to charge me Hamilton County and Chattanooga. I'm like, no, I live in the county, not the city. So let's not do the whole city thing. So yeah, we get money from that as well, from city, county, property tax, sales tax, that kind of stuff. And it'll add up. And it's done pretty well. Vehicle fees, but the vehicle fee ain't that much. Okay, let's keep on going. Thank you to the white man who says, shout out to Sheree, the best moderator on these interwebs. Right on. Thank you to Kyrus Posham who says, RIP to everyone who died during these tornadoes. Yeah, RIP. Tornadoes are dead serious. I know I got hit by one time. It was crazy. You hear that little train sound? I'll never forget it. A train was like right here in my head. When you hear that sound and it's not a train, or it's weird, it's like it could be a train, but maybe it's not. If it's raining especially and you hear that sound, get to a safe area in your house because that's a tornado, as you hear. But yeah, that was crazy. And this area is kind of becoming a hotbed for tornadoes. The South, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, is becoming a tornado alley a little bit. But yeah, RIP to all those who died in the tornadoes from this storm that's happening right now. Stella H says, ABL, how about some women wear like V-neck t-shirts? I know your wife would probably wonder if you please sleep on it perhaps. I don't know what you're talking about right there. Maybe I missed the context. But yeah, I'm single too, just to put that out there. The marriage, that ain't really, I'm in the streets. But thank you for your super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you to Black Suburban Dad Reviews who says, I don't need warm milk or melatonin to fall asleep. I have the Bit Mike podcast for that. I'm sure I'll fall asleep in 2.2 gigawatts of a second. Exactly. Right on. You be out like a light. Boom. And again, the storm is happening. I'm hearing the rain right now. So if the podcast just stops, y'all know what happened. Shout out to John Medeski for your super chat. Thank you to Monique Price, the best editor in the world, who says that mic move was extremely dangerous. Kim Jong-un's brother got taken out by a nerve agent administered similarly. Secret Service needs to do better. Yeah, exactly. Because the person could have been a regular microphone operator, might not have been anything too crazy, but people are crazy nowadays. And somebody could have easily compromised her and said, hey, put this nerve agent on the microphone and touch Trump with it. Yeah, so you cannot do stuff like that because that just kind of breaks a barrier in between the public and the president. And you can't have that happen. So that's a very good point. Thank you to Ron Henderson who says, if you don't love our country, I don't want you here. Thank you. It's Ryan Henderson again who says, it's funny that you can tear up our country for 4 years, and now all of a sudden, my 60 days, you're having a hard time with success. Exactly. Thank you to Enigmatic Char, who says the Kardashian Jenner group is the next boycott because Kim posed on a Cybertruck. Oh my goodness. It's funny. She always is some kind of controversy, but it doesn't really happen. Like, there's not really it's weird. Thank you to Ryan Walker, who says, I love my Japan-built 2024 4Runner with the V6. Hey, that's a good vehicle right there. Shout out to the Tahara Japan 4Runner. Yeah, I had one back in the day. That was probably one of my best cars I had, was a Tahara 4Runner. Loved it. Thank you to Ron Henderson, who says, the Democrats only talk about wage fraud and abuse. The Doge team finds it and gets rid of the wage fraud and abuse. No problem for the Democrats. Exactly. They talk about getting rid of it. Oh, we got to do something to get rid of wage fraud and abuse. We got to investigate. We got to cut this, cut that. They talk a good game, but when it comes down to actually doing it, they're kind of light. They're a teeny bit light, in my humble opinion. Thank you to Dina, who says, ABL, when will tax on Social Security disappear? You are the best from Seoul, South Korea. Shout out to you. I don't know when that'll happen. I hope it happens sooner than later, but I don't know when. Thank you to Jag, who says, Mr., Miss, Mix. Nah, let's go with the old school thing that we learned in school. Okay, Mr. for a man, Mrs. for what's that? Mrs. for a married woman and Miss for unmarried woman. Thank you to Katina for your super chat. Thank you to Kai's Posthumous, who says Enoch describes demons as clown-like transhumans. Well, there we go. That's why I'm afraid of them, because I know what I'm looking at, and I see what I see. I'm looking at a demon. Thank you to Whalers 860, who says 22 in a basket and a cape. She black. LOL JOP. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says some of these dude chicks need a Midol. They're too violent. Hey man, they got that testosterone mixed with estrogen and it's synthetic. They going crazy. They go plumb crazy. I done seen so many Transformers completely crash out. Violent. I'm talking about deleting people, just going completely off the rails. I've seen that over and over again. Thank you to Rebel Without a Reason, who says, what do you think about Don Robinson from In Vogue saying she's been homeless and living in a car for 3 years? I think she has a mental health problem, and she is where she wants to be. A lot of you homeless, not all, but a lot of them want to be there. That's where they want to be, because the thing about it, she was talking about, okay, I'm homeless in my car, yet I got a manager and an assistant. I'm like, how you do that while being homeless? Make that make sense. And she's had chances to go perform and make money, but a lot of times she'll just flake, or she has something wrong with her mind. That's all that is. But it's pretty sad to see that, because I was Vanadaires back in the day. That song they had on the Set It Off soundtrack. Don't you want to be more than friends? Oh, I ain't going to sing right here because they can sing. And I ain't going to do them like that by butchering their song. Thank you to Cardinal Flanagan, who says, check out the documentary Agenda, Grinding Down America, then see how the Democratic Party has followed the strategy from back before the 50s. Wow, that's pretty deep. Thank you to Fernandez T, who says, USA, 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 America. Thank you to Jackass Whiskey and Pencil Beans, who says, I am wealthy as I live below my means. Exactly. Yeah, I do the same thing. I live way below my means. In Vogue was an R&B group from the 90s, and the lead singer, Don Robinson, has gone viral recently because she put out a video talking about she's like homeless in the car. And it's been the whole big thing. People are like, oh, how could she be homeless? She was a star. I mean, look, just because you were popular in the 90s does not mean that you're going to be rich or famous forever. You got guys that were in the 80s rapping that do regular jobs now. I mean, that's kind of how that goes. My man from the Cosby Show, he was at Trader Joe's working. At Trader Joe's working. I mean, because if you don't have any more gigs, You don't have any more roles coming up. What are you going to do? You're on the Cosby Show, but how much are you getting paid to be on there? Is it $1 trillion? Is it basketball player money? No, you're not getting paid that much. Some of these Hollywood people say that for their first gig, they might have got paid $500. For their first movie, $500. How are you going to survive like that if you're getting your roles sparingly? At a certain point, you're not getting more roles. You're not ascending in your career. You got to go work and do something else. Or you may become homeless. Or you may crash out and commit crime. It all depends. But I think in her case, she chose to live in the car. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Let's get into the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. I will change the number at a certain point because Skype is going away. Skype goes away on May 5th, I believe. Yeah, so we might as well say May 1st. Once May 1st hits, it'll be a wrap for the Skypes. But I got a new number, and we'll use that pretty soon before Skype ends. Put it to you that way. Yeah, a lot of pro athletes go bankrupt because they're used to spending a certain amount of money. And then once those checks stop coming in, they can't spend that way anymore. And they pretty much out of luck. All right, let's go to. Let me get my sound together. Y'all give me a little bit of time here. Give me a little bit of time. I kind of just fixed my sound. It's weird. There we go. All right, perfect. Who am I speaking to? 786 online.
Mr. Anthony Brian Logan, how are you, sir?
Oh, well, about yourself?
Oh, fine, thanks. It's once again Sam Rocks from the Super Chat. Just calling. I think we could solve two problems the left has and kill two birds with one stone. All those federal workers and all who are getting dismissed, we can have them go to the fields where all the migrants are being deported from and have them take over for the migrants. Our crops will get picked. Our government be downsized. Two problems solved with one stone.
That's perfect. I like it. It's a great solution. I mean, because they oftentimes are the main ones saying, hey, what are you guys going to do when the migrants are gone? Who will pick the crops? Like, you know what? That's a great question. Yep. Actually, you're going to do it.
Yep. There we go. We got the problem solved, man. Boy, are we good. Yeah. And I just wanted to say, as far as United States Department of Education, I mean, it was just listening to Tampon Timmy there in Minnesota and all, and people say, well, we don't have enough money. It's ridiculous. I mean, I understand that I remember hearing back about even like 20, 30 years ago, the United States Department of Education, out of every dollar that they receive in tax money, they keep about 94 cents of it. Only 6 cents of it goes back to the states out of every dollar. It's really ridiculous. And not only that, I'm old enough to have gone to public school before there was the United States Department of Education. It's not like public education is going to die without it. It survived for at least a century before it began. So it's ridiculous. And I know I used to be a frequent caller to a Miami area talk show, which of course I live in, and they would talk about Miami-Dade schools, and probably there's a common problem throughout the country with so much of our public education, that they were talking that Miami-Dade public schools have like 4 administrators for every 5 teachers. I'm sorry. 4 administrators for every 5 teachers. I mean, you're getting to the point where you can have a 7-man army with 6 generals and 1 private.
Exactly. It makes no sense.
Yeah. I mean, that's our education. I mean, I think if we got rid of so much of the bureaucracy alone, including getting rid of the U.S. DoE and get rid of all the different bureaucracies in education, our schools would have more money than they know what to do with. I mean, yes, right now we spend more than any per child. We spend more than any other country in the world per child, and look at the results we're getting. And they're talking about, you know, kids getting hurt. Well, they're certainly not getting help now.
Right, exactly. So it's like, why did we?
And that's why. Yeah, and they say about hurting black kids. Look at how you already showed the stories of how black kids are suffering right now with our current education system. I don't think they can get hurt any more than they are now.
Nope.
Yeah, that's my point. Oh, well, it still stands well. I was going to ask my wife about her friends in Indonesia, but she's asleep now. And they don't count stones on the beach.
All right, but there you go, right on.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, I'm going to leave it at that then. I know you got 1,000,001 callers, so take care and have a good night.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Sure thing.
All righty. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Texas says ABL in the past 30 years, wages went up 70%, cost of living went up 300%. Okay, now my question to you would be, what was the cause of that? Like, what was the cause of that? That'd be my question. 512, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, no way again. 2 Saturdays in a row. This is Matt in Orlane, the automotive truth again. How are you?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Good. I'm the one that called last week. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I wanted to ask you, did you see the video of Trump with the with little X walking towards the helicopter? I'm not sure what the helicopter's called, but what did you think about that? How is President Trump babysitting little X?
I thought it was great. I thought it was like he had a pawpaw moment. I thought it was fantastic. But, you know, of course, they're not going to like it. The media not going to like it. They're going to say, "Oh, he's babysitting. Where's Elon?" It's like, come on. It's crazy how they hate children. It's a mess.
Especially little X. They really hate on him a lot. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. And what a great moment. Him walking towards with this little baby boy and the way he was looking at him and this big old, president walking towards. It was just amazing. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it.
Oh, right on. Absolutely.
Always great to talk to you. I'm going to let you go now.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Take care now. Bye.
All right. So, yeah, shout out to Lil X and shout out to Trump. Hold on. Here go the video right here I was playing. There we go. So, yeah, it's just pawpaw. That's all. Lil X just out there running around, being a boy. And the left are crazy. You could tell why the kids are coming out messed up because the left talking about, oh, get this little snot nose and he's out of control. It's like, out of control? He's 3 years old. Like, that's what a normal, healthy boy looks like. That's what a normal, healthy boy does. Okay, that's what they do. That is normal behavior, but they see it and see something that's negative. That's why they kids don't know if they are a giraffe or a human. That's exactly why. I mean, anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, where we at? Let's go to 559 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, Patrick from California. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, man. Not too much. Good hearing from you. I just wanted to call in and tell you, yeah, I agree with you regarding the Department of Education. Is it the funding or is it the education itself or is it a mix of all the above? I think it's definitely a lot of issues that has to be solved with both the federal DoE and the state. Now, saying that Trump, reduced it by 50% instead of getting rid of it, I'm not sure what he's going to do with the other half. But, right on, man, with the whole, technical education portion of education for students that are in high school and that are in college. I totally agree with you. That is what our country needs to focus on far more than these ridiculous exit exams and these impossible tests that, you know, these kids are failing every year and they're not able to move on and graduate. And then, you know, they just wind up saying, well, forget it. I'm just going to go, you know, learn a trade anyway and start making, you know, as much money, if not more, than somebody who spends years of their life going to college, who then finds out after they've slaved their life getting a BSN or an MSN or whatever that, oh, we're sorry, but your master's isn't good enough anymore because you also need 2 to 4 years of experience on top of all that. So I could have just went to trade school, spent half the time, got the experience, and went right into the workforce, you know. And I think that's just one of the biggest things that people in this country need to realize. For instance, my grandfather, he had a 3rd grade reading level, but in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, he was able to leave from 8th grade, and him and my uncle started a contracting construction company that wound up being one of the biggest construction companies in the region at the time because he knew that trade. He knew how to lay the concrete. He knew how to lay the rebar. He knew how to build a house, just like what you said. You know, he learned that trade from his father. And so that's just all that I wanted to say, ABL. I think that's something that needs to be more in high schools is these trades. I don't think we need academic block classes like, oh, you know, everybody needs to go learn trig or stats or, you know, they need to go learn pre-calc because we're going to all graduate and build rockets for NASA. No, that's not how it's going to work. That's not how this country works. That's not the backbone of America. So anyway, ABL, just wanted to pass that over to you. And thank you so much for taking my call as always. God bless you, sir. And God bless the United States of America. Take care.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. Great call. Fantastic call, because that's what I was saying before. There should be a certain kind of tests. If you're going to take standardized tests, let's have these tests have consequences that, I don't want to say consequences. I don't want to say like it's a punishment. Let's have the test early, like 3rd grade. Okay, if by 3rd grade you're not able to read on grade level, what can you do? Would you be good in the trade school? Would you be good at learning how to use your hands? Because not everyone's going to be this math whiz. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not a math whiz. What's 2 + 2? 18. I don't know. But I have other talents. And if I maximize my talents to add to the country, then I'll be able to be successful. And when I have children, they can be better than me and so on and so forth. I'll be able to give them my skill. They're able to get other skills. They'll be highly skilled. They won't be relying upon others to do things for them. So you got things to be done around your house. You got some basic house chores, some house and home improvement, whatever you could do on your own rather than be relying upon somebody else. You could do these things. There was a story I heard, very quick story. There was a story I heard from an old video. You guys probably seen it, where it was this black guy and he lived in a neighborhood next to an abandoned house. Mexicans come in and they make that house go from abandoned to brand new overnight. From abandoned to brand new overnight. And how did they do it? It was one Mexican guy brought his friends. They got beer, lights, all of that, and went to work on the house. They didn't need to try to get a bunch of money to hire a contractor and go through all this kind of stuff. Nah, they had the skill and they used the skill. These skills are useful, they're necessary, and we can't just say, oh, you guys don't have the skill. Let's train our children how to do these things to be able to maintain and build this country without relying upon foreign slave labor. Does it make sense? It makes sense to me. I have the skills. I could do a lot of different things. I solder and iron, no problem. Miter saw, table saw, no problem. Framing, a little bit of drywall, whatever you need, I got you. I can hang drywall. I could do that. That's simple to me. That's easy. And when I first realized that skill was needed was when we had a hurricane hit. I might have been like 14, 15. I don't know how old I was. I was young. But we had a hurricane hit and the little bay window in my mom's house, like in the front where like it's the bay window in the townhouse, like that had collapsed because it was water that came in through the bay roof, and that thing had collapsed. So we had like just exposed, like some exposed 2x4s, and the drywall right there was gone from the ceiling. So here come my uncle with drywall, a sander, all of that. It was done in 10 minutes. He had it painted, sanded, all of that in 10 minutes. I'm like, there we go. I need to focus on that kind of skill to have it. Now I can do that. I don't got to rely upon outside people to do that for me. Who am I speaking to? 770, you're online.
Hey, ABL, how's it going today?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
I'm doing good. A little comment on the Lil Yachty situation in BLM. I think it's just great that Trump got so much more of the black male vote, and I think it's great that I guess young black men are starting to wake up to the party that defended slavery, started the Civil War, the party that opposed Reconstruction and founded the Ku Klux Klan, and imposed segregation laws and perpetuated lynchings and fought for Civil Rights Act, is not actually the party that says it wants the best for us today. The Democrats, the same party that opposed the 13th Amendment to abolish slavery, the 14th Amendment for citizenship, the 15th Amendment for voting rights for blacks. You know, I'm glad to see that people are finally starting to see that this is all a fraud. The party's never switched. If they're talking about the two senators back in the day who switched sides shortly after the war, I mean, I guess you could say that switched sides, but I only see one party today that is still absolutely obsessed with race, absolutely thinks that black people can't do well for themselves. And ID, that was it for me. When I saw that they thought we couldn't get an ID to vote, I was like, oh, you can just say we're stupid, you know? And so I thought that I just think it's great that Trump is, I don't know if Trump's doing it or the interwebs are doing it or the free speech or what have you, but I'm like, dude, the first 22 people who were black in Congress were black Republicans, you know, over in 1900. Democrats didn't elect anybody until 1935, I think. So who's the racist here again? You know, and I just think it's crazy. I think it's good that people are waking up. I think that the interwebs are helping. I think Trump's helping. I think Obama did it for me. If you're asking what woke me up, I think Obama was like the one who I saw, oh, wow, our lives are not better at all after this guy got in office. And we still worship this dude as sacrosanct for some reason. And so that's just my little 2 cents. And that gave me hope. Lil Yachty saying BLM is a scam. I'm like, dude, thank you. This whole thing is a scam. I call this the great gaslighting. I don't know why people still believe all this. And so I guess that's my 2 cents.
Thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you. Great call.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You take it easy now, all right?
All right, now, same to you. So there you have it. Now, the picture I showed when he was talking, that was 1870. These are the first black Americans elected to the U.S. House. Okay, 1870, all Republican. Okay, so that's my people. That's who I really identify with. I identify with them. I don't identify with Barack Obama, Big Mike. I identify with actual black people who want the best for black people, not those who are just bought and paid for, biracial Africans that's not from America. I don't care what somebody is, what a nationality is, but if you want to talk about black this, black that, let's talk about it for real. Those who have the best interests of us at heart and those who are actually from here. Americans. Shout out to the Americans. All right, let's go to 215 hit online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, ABL? This is Recognized Gang from out of Philly.
All right, man. What's going on?
Hey, man, I'm really enjoying the show. I always appreciate hearing different ideals from opposite spectrums. So, of the the forum of ideas. So, always appreciate your show. But I just want to let you know, man, this is not the same Trump. I actually supported Trump, but this is a whole different different ball game you pitching. I mean, how you feel about the central planning and the central planning and essentially the communism with the tariffs? I mean, if he doesn't do price setting, which is also a communist trick or strategy, how's he going to keep the prices down, man? I mean, you know that we pay the tariffs. You know that the prices are going to have to go up. So why are we supporting this?
Okay, now that may or may not be true about tariffs, because tariffs could have different effects. It depends. Now, what could happen is they could still be produced overseas, and then they just charge us more for the same thing they produce over there, or they realize that they cannot sell it here because competitively, it's not just them that can bring products here. So, for example,
right,
if there is a particular item and it's produced by many nations, China has it the cheapest and they flood us with it, and they're able to beat an American manufacturer. Now with the tariffs, they can't beat the American manufacturer anymore. So rather than the money going to China, it's here in America. Even if it does cost a little bit more, it's better because we have the jobs and the money here. Also, let's just say the company overseas realizes it's better to produce it here than over there. We, at the end of the day, end up winning. You can't just sell whatever you want in this country without paying any kind of money. And also, the tariffs that he had on China were needed, because what if this happens? What if they're allowed to bring their EVs over here? They got EVs for like $14,000 in China, $20,000 for an EV. So if they're able to bring those over here, it'd kill Tesla. That's an American company. Why would we want a Chinese company to kill an American company? All because we want cheaper products? You got a cheaper vehicle, but it's worse quality, no spare parts, and you're killing American jobs in the process. So we look at it as cheaper, but at the end of the day, is it actually more cheaper if we suffer as a result economically?
Well, I would say that's still central planning, you know.
But I'm saying, but I mean, I get it. But what I said, did it make sense though?
But
because
you agree that's central planning.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know about the label. I don't know what you're talking about as far as the label. But
well, I mean, central planning is when the government basically creates regulations that dictate what happens in the markets. So it's price setting, it's tariffs, it's taxes. Central planning is very cut and dry.
But look though, everybody does it. The whole
exactly
world.
What Trump is doing.
But listen, the whole world does it though. So why wouldn't we do it? China does it.
Oh,
so,
no,
but hear me out though, because it's not just us in this world. So if China has tariffs on U.S. products and we dump for their products and they just dump their stuff on us, we suffer while they benefit. Why would we want that? Why would we not have reciprocal tariffs at least? If hold on. If China has tariffs on us, if China has tariffs on us, why do we not have tariffs on them? I mean, that don't even make no sense from a business point of view. You call it whatever you want, central planning, communism, but business wise, does it make sense to not have tariffs on them when they have tariffs on us?
It really depends on the dynamic of the actual product, each individual product, but I do understand where you're coming from. And that's why we do have tariffs. I'm not opposed to tariffs because you can't really put the toothpaste back in the tube, if you so to speak. I mean, it's already something that we practice. That's why I really don't believe we can go back to zero or minimal government, because we already pretty much practice big government. That's something that we've just been doing. I don't agree with it, but it's already in play. But I mean, the central planning, I mean, these tariffs are going to increase prices. And that's what I think you mean by there's going to be some rough times, or things are going to be, it's going to be a little bit more turbulent in the market. I hear you saying things that are indicative of what the actual details are, but you're not really bringing the details out. I mean, the prices are going to increase unless he fixes prices.
But see, you're not. You don't understand the benefit of the tariffs, though. I explained it to you, but you're not really.
I do.
But see, in your mind,
we pay for it.
But look, but listen. Hold on.
Go ahead. My fault.
In your mind,
my fault.
In your mind, you focus on the price increase or potential price increase, but you're not focused on all of what goes into it. If we have cheaper prices, is it worth it to have cheaper prices if we suffer as a whole economically? If we have a reduction in GDP and a reduction in overall quality of life, fewer jobs, is all of that worth it to have cheaper prices? Is it? But hold on. Wait.
In my opinion, yes.
So you rather have
increase the price of productivity, then we're not going to be able to produce anything here, and the companies are going to leave. Because we can't be competitive at the price, at the wages that we have here in America. We cannot be competitive with China, who employs slave labor.
We're not trying to compete with. We're not. Listen. We don't have to compete with them because we got tariffs, so they can't compete with us. That's the point.
Right. But the thing is,
we're not trying to compete with China.
The real point is that. Well, the point that I'm trying to make, your point well taken. But my point is, when we produce things here domestically, they just cost a lot more because our wages are a lot higher.
Okay, so I got a question. I got a question. I have a question. Boss. Listen, I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather produce everything overseas because it's cheaper?
Not everything.
Why not? Wait. But why not? Wait.
To produce them overseas.
So if everything could be cheaper overseas, make it over there rather than here.
I personally believe that Americans shouldn't be trying to work so much. We should be investing in companies.
How are we going to invest with no jobs, though, bro? Bro. How are we going to invest? Listen. You're not hearing.
We can make money,
bro. You're not hearing yourself. How are we going to invest with no jobs? You got to have the money to invest.
We have money already. What do you mean? We have money now. I'm saying make a transition from being a W-2 to a 1099.
But look, though, see, you don't understand.
In stocks and bonds instead of working for the factory.
Okay, so
invest in the factory.
Listen.
So, I mean, shares.
Bro, yo, hear me out, boss. You gotta, when I talk, you gotta stop talking because we got limited time. So check it out, bro. But listen, hold on, bro. I'm being kind to you, bro. I'm being kind to you now. Now listen to me.
I know I can't hear you.
Okay, but just stop talking though. Just stop talking while I talk. But check it out. If you go to 1099, then who will your clients be? Who will your customers be?
You ready for me to talk?
Go ahead.
All right. Your clients will be people from all over the world, ABL. Why are you subjugating us to the American market exclusively?
Okay,
we can sell things everywhere.
Okay, look. Okay, you answer the question. Answer the question. Now it's time for me to come in. So, what if you are a brick mason? How are you gonna have a client in China?
All right. What if you are
answer the question? Answer the question. Answer the question.
I mean, industries change. Industries.
If you are a brick mason, bro. If you are a brick mason, how are you gonna have a client in China? Mm-hmm. If you are a plumber, how are you gonna have a client in China? If you are an electrician, HVAC. But those jobs exist. These guys exist, bro. Listen, these guys exist though. You can't just say, okay, work for yourself and you got worldwide clients. That's not how that works.
So you don't see that happening? You don't see that we have automation, we have AI, we have robots, we have all these things that are going to replace, and Tesla is a prime example. A prime example. Tesla, I mean, they're trying to phase out gas cars.
Look, trying to, maybe all this and the third. Trying to, might to, it don't matter. Like at the end of the day, listen. Let me talk now, boss. So you still got to have plumbers. You still got to have HVAC. You still got to have guys that can fix things and get on top of roofs. You don't have robots doing all these jobs for us. You still got human beings that do these jobs still. You got to have jobs in America producing things in America. I mean, for now, but look, it ain't happening no time soon. By the time you die, by the time I die, by the time you die and by the time I die, it'll still be guys doing that manually. You're planning for a future that's not even here yet at the end of the day. If we do have slave robots doing everything for us, that's a different conversation, but we're not there right now. We still have manual jobs that people need to do. But look, this has been a good conversation, man. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
All right.
I think bro might be a little bit retarded. It's like, look, listen, do you understand the way economy works? I'm sorry for saying that, but I got triggered. Do you understand the way that the economy works? You can't just say, I work for myself and I don't need to have anybody that, bro, you can't just make everything overseas. That's why you got these steel belt towns that are completely demolished, devastated, because all the manufacturing went over there. The manufacturing is still being done. It's just not being done by us. Yes, we have cheaper prices in some of these things, but we also have entire towns that are demolished. We also have people that have no jobs, no ability to pay bills, homeless, drugs. You got to understand, we got to have jobs here for people. We got to have productivity here for people in this country to be able to make this engine go. We got to have skilled labor, working with your hands. You got to have that stuff in this country. You can't just say, oh, work for yourself. Who's going to be your actual clients? You're a brick mason. You clean gutters. But you're going to fly on the plane in China to clean their gutters? You're going to fly to Guangzhou to unclog a toilet? Bro, come on, man. Use your brain. Come on, man. Like, let's think. 801, you're online. What's speaking to?
Hey, what's up, ABL?
What's happening?
This is Mecca. Hey, man, so I was listening to that last caller, and he was kind of contradicting himself. Like, the whole thing with Tesla, he was saying, like, Tesla's a prime example. Like, yeah, Tesla is a prime example because Tesla cars, like, I'm over here in California, and I see, like, a lot of people driving Teslas, which means their cars are cheaper over here. But if you try to have, you know, cars come from overseas, they're going to be a lot more expensive. So, like, not only are Teslas cheaper here, but, you know, if Tesla opens up a lot of warehouses, that creates a lot of jobs. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so, like,
exactly. And the thing is, even if the cars were cheaper from China, it doesn't matter because you can't just say, all right, I want cheaper products. Well, you got to have jobs too, though. So you're getting, you're killing an American company with thousands of jobs. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, exactly. And then another prime example is, I don't know if you saw, like, a couple of days ago where Apple decided to invest $500 billion in, you know, opening warehouses and factories here in the U.S. It's because they see the bigger picture. Like, we all buy iPhones, we all buy Apple laptops, and they know they're not going to sell any of that product if the tariffs are hitting them hard and for, you know, coming from China. So they're going to want to open up all these factories here in the U.S. And that's the reason why they're doing it, so that we can buy these iPhones and laptops here cheaper, not only here in the U.S. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, I don't know. He was kind of smoked. No, just kidding. He was a cool guy, I guess. But man, I forgot what I was going to talk. Oh yeah, you know the whole thing. You ever seen the podcast with Michelle Obama?
I've heard about it, but I've not actually watched an entire episode. I've seen little clips here and there.
Yeah, I just like at first I thought it was just like fun to watch, just to see, like, you know, just to read the comments and stuff, and so I started watching it, and there's only 2 episodes right now, but like it's weird because, like, when I heard her talk and just it's a podcast with her and her brother. Like, from the way she was explaining how she got raised up, it just sounded like the normal conservative family. Like, that's how I was raised. Like, poor family, we shared bedroom, you know, with all the siblings and the parents with the little ones. And I was like, man, I wonder what went wrong, because, like, it sounded like she was a conservative and everything. And then, like, when she was explaining when Obama wanted to run for president, Barack, like, she was totally against the idea. Same with her family. Like, I just felt like it was weird. Like, listening to the podcast, it kind of sounded like they were against the idea because they knew how bad the corruption was. And I don't know. Maybe that's where they might have changed. Like, when they got into office, they realized how deep the corruption and the deep state was, and it just changed them. And I think that's probably why they're going through some marital problems or whatever. But like, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. I kind of wanted to hear their podcast and just to make fun of it. But then when I heard it, I was like, what the heck? That kind of sounds like how I grew up. But I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. But anyways, keep up the good work, bro. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, peace.
Now, as far as Big Mike and her podcast, I mean, Barack was a Democrat when he was a politician. So, I mean, they knew. And then also, Big Mike is close with George W. Like, I think that she just wants to chart her own destiny. Plus, I think Barry might be, LGBT. So that's a whole different thing right there. But that's a different story. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to, all right, y'all give me a second here. Let's go 470. You're on line. Who am I speaking to? Mike.
Hey, ABL is correct from Wild and Wacky Atlanta, where you think it happened the 8th time. How you doing, sir?
Everything's well. How about yourself?
Oh, great. Just getting ready for the storm and also for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, right on. That's a Monday, right?
Yeah. And I just ran across this guy. I couldn't wake up. I couldn't sleep this morning. I woke up really early. Having run across this guy called the Unbroken Man, who's Irish. He's living in Ireland, and he's pro-Trump and pro-America. He's talking about all the problems in Ireland that are caused by leftism and all the immigrants that they're forcing over there and bringing to the country and not assimilating, and also the LGBTQ problems and all that stuff. Also, there's a guy, I read in one of the comments, a guy named Enoch Burke. Have you heard of him?
No.
He's a teacher over there in Ireland who's arrested apparently in August of 2022 by the Irish government for refusing to, get this, use the proper pronouns for this student.
Oh,
he
wow.
teaches German and history.
Of course. That's always, yeah.
Yeah, two of his relatives just interrupted the gala here yesterday up in Washington. Got in trouble. I think they got arrested.
Okay,
it's crazy what's going on over there.
Yeah, it is. It's
so
wild.
The vast majority of the Irish people, there are only 4 million people, which I didn't know they were that small. But the vast majority of the Irish people, I think, are liberal, at least half or more. And they really need to turn things around because they're destroying their culture. And it's becoming a police state over there. It's just crazy. So anyway, I didn't know if you'd heard about that or not. But check out the Unbroken Man. He's really good.
Okay, I'll check
I
it
agree
out.
with him. I've already seen about 3 or 4 of his videos. Also, real quick, I know you got to go, but I want to tell you about a crazy story I just heard about 2-3 days ago. There's a lady, 34-year-old lady in Texas. Her name was Amber Page Loudermilk, who's an embalmer at a funeral home. And she, get this is really crazy. She stabbed this guy in his groin and then cut his, am I allowed to say dick on the radio?
Well, you already said it now, so you might as well just leave it at that.
I know, precisely. That's the whole point behind the joke. She cut his dick off and then stuck it in his mouth. After she found out that he was a registered sex offender.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah.
So she lost her job. And so, she's going to court and everything. I agree with what she did. I think it's a little bit radical, but, at the same time, you can't do that by law. It's considered, a what do you call it? Torturing a dead body or whatever it's called. I don't recall. Disfiguring a dead body or whatever. Just some law that I don't recall exactly what it is. At any rate, yeah, I think they should have just left it there at the funeral, just to let everybody there know what the guy did while he was alive.
Yeah, that's pretty hardcore. That's pretty hardcore right there.
Yeah, man, but wow, her emotions went wild, and she couldn't help herself after she heard what he did in life. 58-year-old man, just a sick bastard. Anyway, have a great St. Patrick's Day, and I wish you well. It's great talking to you. And when you come down to Atlanta, be safe. There's a lot of crazy drivers out there with these stickers on there that say, be patient, student driver. And trust me, they're not student drivers. They've had a sticker on there for 4 or 5 years or more.
Right, exactly.
They're just using that as an excuse to explain away their shitty driving behavior,
Oh man, you didn't say the D word, the S word. You say all the words tonight, huh?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, St. Patrick's Day. I don't want to get you banned or anything like that. I apologize.
It's all good, man. Thank you for your call. So, I appreciate you.
You have a great night.
All right,
Take care. Best wishes. Bye.
All right, shout out to my man for the call. I appreciate y'all for being here. Let's take one more, maybe. Yeah. 205 here on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is Brian down here in great state of Alabama.
All right, man. What's happening?
Hey, good to talk to you. I just want to say what a pleasure. And your YouTube channel that I've located about 3 months or so ago has been one of the best things I've seen on YouTube in the last year. But, my main focus is, does the American people not understand how broke we are at $40 trillion? I mean, we're sitting here
go ahead.
running into a $40 trillion deficit. And if we don't get that under control and figured out, we're doomed. And I don't mean to be doom and gloom, because the last 55 days have been the most amazing days in the last 8 years.
For sure. I mean, I'm with you. Yeah, the debt is out of control, and we really got to get a hold on that. That is most certainly. I mean, the DoE thing is a good start. I mean, if we're so broke, then we can't just spend trillions on complete nonsense. That'd be a good place to start.
Yes, I mean, we've seen it, and it's ridiculous. It's appalling. And for anyone to sit there and say, "Oh, this is all good stuff we're spending our money on," I mean, I really think it's the power base. It's the struggle. It's that deep state. It might be your next door neighbor. They work for such and such government agency, and they might be doing a great job. And I know people that work for the government, and for the VA, they hardworking Americans. But you get down there in the nitty gritty, and where's this money going, and who's getting this money, and how's this money coming back around to you? And I think that's what Trump's. I think he had 8 years to figure this out, and he has got it figured out for the most part. But how do we hold our congressmen and senators accountable, like the bill they just passed, the continuing resolution? How do we know there's not, I've never seen a politician not like some pork spending or money coming my way.
I mean, the best way, obviously, is to vote. If they do something that's wrong, incorrect, or whatever, you could call them, you could talk to them, you could write letters, but the main thing that they really understand is voting. If they are no longer in power, that'll be what kind of gets their attention.
Yeah. Well, we've got a decent senator in Tommy Tuberville, but, I still think that there's lots to be done. And with the tax policy that was floated out, first it was the 5,000, and now it's the 150,000 or less. I mean, let's just say I'm an average American. I've worked at the same company, had it on for 31 years. I'm only 55 years old, and I've scrimped and saved, and had things in my life. But yeah, that if they can get that figured out, I'm on board.
Right on, man. Absolutely.
Oh, y'all have a good evening.
Same to you now.
Good talking to you.
Right on. All right, shout out to the caller. And I'm sorry, but I got to go right now. Shout out to you guys who are still on. I appreciate y'all for joining. Thank you for calling. If you couldn't get on tonight, don't blame me. Blame the white man, because it ain't my fault. But I'll be back live again on Wednesday, same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank y'all good for being here. You guys are fantastic. Great show tonight. Great callers. Thank you for everybody who, thank you to everybody who's been watching, retweet, and super chat. And I could not do the show without you. Thank you to everybody that's called. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate y'all. We got super chats on deck. Oh, shout out to the mods, of course, keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that. Oh, one more thing before I get super chats. This is also an audio streaming podcast. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Alrighty. We got super chats on deck. I'll read these right quick, then I wrap it on up and put the bow on top. Thank you to Jackass Whiskey and Pencil Beans, who says, my life ain't bad. I just make do with what I have, and I have lived a life of frugality. I dry my clothes on a clothesline. Hey, shout out to you. Thank you to my man again, who says, picking crops is a great job for high school students. When I was in high school, I envied those who had those jobs. Exactly. A lot of these jobs we could do, like high school kids, people that, those are great jobs. Thank you to Lou Maldonado, who says, Trump with little x, excellent, right on. Thank you to Bot K MIT, who says, Portsmouth Shipyard are starting the welding students at $25 an hour. Skilled welders making $200,000. Trade schools all day. Exactly. And right there in Portsmouth, I mean, you got plenty of these young dudes you could just go right there, go downtown, go to the shipyard, and you be good money. And I see some guys at the shipyard out Portsmouth. I see guys going to Dick's Sporting Goods, getting the coveralls, and you see the OGs talking about, when you get cold, youngin, you put a newspaper in your suit. Put newspaper when you get cold on the docks. Like, I see guys doing that. We need a lot more of that. We need to focus on actual work in this country. Everybody can't be a tech bro. Being a tech bro is fine, but everybody can't be that. Everybody's not really, they may be better at working with their hands. And the tech guys, they might not be good with their hands, but they're good with the tech stuff. Everyone has a place in society, and I don't think that any American is too good or above it. I think everybody should focus on what their strengths are, and if they can't necessarily get employment in that, figure something else out and make it work for yourself, but you're never too good to do anything. I mean, look, when they told me, hey, but you got to go clean the toilets, it wasn't, I got to do it. I got to do what I got to do. When they told me, hey, take this hot grease out to the dumpster, take the sewer grate out and scrape that out, and it smelled real bad. But it's no problem. I'm young. I'm 18. It's no problem. I'm not too good to do that. Nah, I'm getting my check. I'm getting my monies. I'm getting my $6.25 an hour, and I'm going hard. Simple. And then I'm no longer 18. I get to be 22. I keep moving up and up and up in my life. I don't have to stay being a roofer forever if I don't want to. I can if I want to, but I don't have to. I could do this and then do that. Do this and then do that. It's simple. That's the American way. Thank you to Liza Jean, who says, speaking of education, have you checked out the 1989 U.S. one-room schoolhouse exam from Kirk, Canada? I have not seen that, but I'll check it out. Thank you to Music Wins 1977, who says, hey, ABL, great show as always. Inspired by the Biden administration, I plan to open up my own chain of laundromats in the hood in 2025. I'm going to call it whites only. And when that does well, next door color only. Hey, I love it. I love it. Shout out to you, boss. Thank you to Jack A, who says, tariffs do increase prices for consumers, though the products that are produced in the U.S. are made by our brothers and sisters with jobs. Exactly. So some people say, I'd rather have everything produced in China rather than America because we have cheaper prices. Okay, if all the productivity has been exported, where are you going to get the money to buy the goods? You got to have productivity to generate revenue. I think Americans have been trained to think that money grows on trees because they keep getting stimmies and stuff like this. Money does not grow on trees. Money, at a certain point, now it comes from debt, but money should come from productivity. Productivity. If money does not come from productivity and it's simply printed or created, that causes inflation, which is why we have inflation right now, because we printed money rather than having productivity create the money. You see? Thank you to Jack A, who says, I'd rather pay a premium for a product made in the USA that is high quality than a product made cheaply in China. Facts. Thank you to Jack A. Says, I do love craftsmen in China, but mass production of cheap widgets in China is warfare. Facts. Facts. All facts. They just dump all their garbage on us. We eat that up, and we getting this cheap thing from the TikTok shop, but we don't realize that we're not supporting American businesses, and that practice is going to hurt us in the immediate, the long term and the immediate. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. But that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.